Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Full Metal Demon Muramasa. We're gonna have our final conversation with Muramasa before we get into our confrontation, or at least what we hope is our final confrontation with the prefect and his agent, the monkey, Makotaro. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it, as I hope they have a better plan than just 2v1 and hope we figure things out. They got a good plan to lure him here. Now Kageaki just needs to figure out a way to beat them, as I don't think he's in a great position to win. He was recently injured. He's probably low on energy. They should be at their peak. And he's just recovered, and he couldn't even beat one of them. One of them he couldn't even beat when he was doing fine. Best of luck. At least this time they won't have any secrets to pull, although there's a chance that one of the eggs hatches and we see some crazy mutation or something going on. That could be cool. I wonder if that will force Fuma to change sides or something. If, like, one of the guys goes berserk and she's like, Jesus! Or he's like, oh my god, what's happening? And it's team up time, and then they finish each other off or something. Who knows? Let's get into this. Mido. Muramasa. Remember, we're about to fill in the mines, presumably with explosives and or shovels, to ruin all the work the prefect's gone. We're trying to squeeze his wallet to force him out of hiding. I'm sipping my tea when Muramasa contacts me. Our impromptu meal is over and the girls have gone home. Have you found something? A suspicious individual. Come quietly. On my way. I stand and glance at Yagentha. He nods in reply, appearing to grasp my intent. I follow the invisible link between me and Muramasa, and it leads me down a narrow mountain trail and into the woods. It's not long before I reach Muramasa, hidden behind a tree, and spot the person in question. Is it the guy with the white hair, the Yakuza guy? That's him? And he's not alone. Man has his back to us and appears to be writing something. He finishes momentarily, then raises a sheet of paper toward a nearby tree. A long arm reaches down from the branches and takes the message. I trace it back up into the tree, and there I see a metal ape. Gasan Jusanmi. Alright. Well, we could attack the monkey now. Its stealth capabilities are impressive, as you'd expect of a monkey, and I didn't notice it at first. However, that man isn't Gasan's master. Well, if it's an empty suit, you might be able to catch it real quick. No, he's most likely... Gasan takes off toward the deep forest, bouncing from tree to tree, and after putting away his writing implements, the man crouches and begins to retie his shoelaces. So this is the prefect's advanced scout with Gasan as the message runner. In which case... should we follow Gasan? No, we're luring him out here. If anything, we just assassinate the messenger and move on. Could we pursue without being noticed? I'd like to say yes, but it knows this forest better than we do. Tracking it will be hard enough. To do so without being spotted would be out of the question, of course. Of course. There's a chance Gasan could lead us to the prefect and solve all our problems, but if we're detected, it will attempt to shake us. Even if we can maintain pursuit, Gasan will never return to its master with us on its tail. It'll simply take us on a wild goose chase, and we'll have wasted precious time. We could just destroy Gasan, I suppose. You're correct. We'd have to catch it first, and even if we do succeed, doing so may discourage the prefect from ever showing himself, which would defeat the point. That is a thought. Which is why I said if we jump it quickly before it escapes, or just kill the killed their agent, so they have to send someone else to observe directly. Either of those would work.
そうね。ごめんなさい。つまらないこと言った。
You're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have bothered. I pretend not to notice the bite in Muramasa's voice.
欲はかくまい。あれが行動の様子を代官に伝えてくれるのなら、それはこちらの予定通りだ。このまま見送るだけで十分。手出しは無用。
Let's not get greedy. We want the prefect to know what's happening at the mine. Best let the message reach him.
ええ。
Right.
だが、
However, I scanned the area looking for anything that could impede my footing.
石膏をこれ以上放置しておいても益はない。
We gain nothing by letting this scout continue to snoop around. The distance is about 10 meters, a little further than I would like, but if I can approach just a few paces without being noticed, I'll be in the perfect position for a surprise attack. The man is still tying his shoes. A cane, likely his weapon, lies on the ground beside him, harmless for the moment. I couldn't ask for a better chance. Yes, of course, he's tying his shoes.
敵の戦力を減らしておくことにする。
Best to reduce the enemy's numbers. Give me a
立ちを
sword.
送れ。
了解。
Alright. Two of Muramasa's fangs vanish, and at the same time, a familiar weight appears in my right hand. Taking care not to make a sound, I raise the blade above my shoulder and take a first step towards the enemy. Then the second, the third, the fourth. I lunge, striking towards the enemy's shoulder with the flat of my... I'm fine, it's merely a scratch.
かすり傷だ。
The counterattack only brushed my thigh, however. Hey!
勘弁してくださいよ。あんたいつの間に。
What did I say? It's the Yakuza guy with white hair? Called it! It was obvious. And you screwed up by not just suiting up and cutting him down in one blow. Now you're losing. And what if this is poisoned? Now you just lost the fight before it's even begun. Damn, don't sneak up on me like that. Where the hell did you come from? The enemy blinks in surprise. I recognize his face. This is only our fourth meeting? There's a more pressing concern. Did this man just roll out from under my attack, draw his sword and strike all at the same time?
気づかれていたの?
He knew we were here? That was obvious. Why was he tying his shoelace 1 second after relaying a message for like 5 minutes? No. I glanced at the man's feet. His right shoe is still untied. He didn't know I was there. I took him completely by surprise. And yet the speed of his reaction.
こういう芸のできる人間は他に一人しか知らない。あれは確か3年前だったか。俺の妹が同じようなことをやってみせた。
I know only one other capable of such devilry. 3 years ago, I believe it was my sister that performed a similar feat.
お前で2人目だ。野木山組の反町一蔵。
You were the second Sorimachi Ichizo. The gangly Yakuza responds with a chilly smile.
覚えていただいてたんで。そいつは光栄です。
You
警
remember
察
me?
の旦那。
I'm flattered, officer.
たまたまだ。別段覚えようと思って覚えたわけでもない。だが、
Merely a coincidence.
今後当分は忘れないだろう。
I had no intention of remembering your name, though I doubt I'll ever forget it now. Sorimachi inches backwards, trying to gain distance. I advance to maintain range. I have no intention of letting him escape, but rushing in will only open me up to a counterattack.
随分と世話になったことでもある。
Not to mention I owe you a debt.
さて、私が旦那にそれほど大したことをいたしましたかね。
Oh, I don't recall doing anything to earn your gratitude. I mean, what has he done? I guess he's given information to the enemy? That's about it.
おととい、空から叩き落としてもらったばかりだ。あいにくと地獄の底までは落ちきれず、かように健在だが。
You struck me from the sky just the other day, though as you can see I was regrettably unable to complete my journey to hell.
お気づきでしたか。
So you made me, huh?
無論のこと。その声を聞き違えるのは難しい。
Your voice is impossible to mistake.
よく言われます。
I get that a lot. So it's, we better hurry because now it'll be a 3v1 if the monkey comes back. The stalemate continues, the range between us neither opening nor closing, however the odds favor me. The man's swordsmanship clearly surpasses mine. He may even be on par with Hikaru's. I have no confidence I can defeat him on equal terms. However, we're not on equal terms. With one shoe still untied, Sorimachi will have difficulty securing his footing. As such, he will be unable to fight to the full extent of his ability, and sooner or later the balance will tip in my favor. Should he wish to avoid that, he'll attempt to initiate Musha combat as soon as possible. But I see no Tsurugi or Tsurugi case nearby. However, what is this sound I hear faintly above the commotion at the mine? An idling engine?
困っちまいましたね。ここまでやるほどの義理はないんですよ、私は。玉かけての切った張ったご勘弁願いたいところでして。
Good evening, my friend. Damn, what a pain in the ass. I'm not getting paid enough to stick my neck out this far. It'd be nice if we could do without the hack and slash. Well, you're giving information to my enemies. Letting them get the jump on me. You gotta at least give me something useful.
こちらの事情は別。かっこ撃破の機会は逃せない。命までは無用。
I'm afraid I can't afford to waste this
手
opportunity.
足を一本封じておきたい。
While I do not require your life, I would like to relieve you of the use of at least one limb.
でしょうね。見逃してくれってのはちょっと虫が良すぎますか。
Guess I can't expect you to let me go.
剣を使うか。
Do you plan to equip your Tsurugi?
そうしたら旦那はどうなさ
And what if I do?
俺も剣を使い、切り
Then I'll
伏せる
defeat
ま
you
で
in。Musha combat.
ははMuramasa で
Yeah,
すか。
with Muramasa? Did Fuma tell him of my Tsurugi? I've never spoken the name in his presence.
しかしね、そいつはいけねえでしょ。
You sure that's a good idea?
大代官は私を偵察によこしはしましたがね、確認みたいなもんで、
Okay.
あんた方が行動を埋め潰そうとしてるってことにゃもうお気づきですよ。
This guy is stalling for time, and we're just totally letting him stall as hard as he wants. The prefect sent me to check out the mine, but I'm really only here to get him the details. He already knows you're trying to collapse the thing.
そこで轟音立てて、私と旦那が派手に空でやり合い始めたらどうなります？私の火星に来る？まさかね。大官殿はもちろん山の作業を潰しに行きますよ。
What do you think will happen if we start going at it topside where everyone can see? Is he gonna come give me a hand? Nah. You can bet the bank he'll go straight for the mine.
そしたらどなたが大官殿と小太郎じいさんの相手をするんで？
And just who is gonna keep him and Kotaro from dusting all those people? Well, presumably us if we'd hurry the fuck up and stop this guy from talking. He is just stalling for time. What guile. His tongue is as sharp as his sword. His analysis of the situation is flawless. Should we engage in aerial combat, the risk is extremely high. It'll play out exactly as he says. Yet despite knowing that, he didn't immediately armor up and attempt to flee, which can only mean he considered the possibility I would attempt to defeat him first, before returning to defend the mine, foolish though that course would be. Though I only saw it for a brief instant before he struck me down, I believe his Tsurugi was a military-issue Kazuchi. He knows it's unlikely he'll be able to shake my pursuit. I'm indeed confident I could beat him in the air, however I can't risk leaving the mine undefended. Musha combat is out of the question. With only his words, this man's denied me my strongest weapon, and yet he doesn't allow this fact to erode his caution. He's clearly navigated more than his fair share of trouble.
一切指摘の通り。だが、ならばこのまま決着をつけるまで。
As you say, in which case I'll simply defeat you here.
そいつも
Well... Sorimachi's right foot moves his loose shoe. He's going to...
お許しください。
I'll take a range check on that. Spit? The shoe is a feint. I managed to twist my head and avoid catching it in the eye, but the half-second of immobility is all he needs to take off running.
味だ。
Scoundrel.
ごめんなすって。
Thanks for the compliment. Now the spider grabs him. I give chase. My legs are longer, so at this short distance, I shouldn't need more than 5 seconds to catch him. Before those 5 seconds are up, he reaches his goal, a monobike hidden between the two trees.
剣だ。
It's a Type 90, the Army's version of the Navy's Type 88. Because of its versatility, the Type 90 is still widely used, and the monobike, in its unequipped form, is chosen for ease of transportation. That's where the engine sound was coming from. Sorimachi springs into the seat and hits the accelerator. The idling bike shoots off into the trees. He's heading for the road. We should...
却下。
Not an option. A Tsurugi in flight can outstrip any land vehicle speed with ease, but the monobike's greater maneuverability will grant it an advantage on these winding roads. Moreover, he might armor in response, which would invite exactly the situation we're trying to avoid.
なら見逃すしかないってい
We
う
have to
の
let him go? I suppose so.
いいな。
No? At first glance, his plan would appear to have succeeded, leaving us with no choice but to watch as he vanishes into the distance. However, there's still...
村正、このまま追うぞ。
We'll pursue him as is.
了解
Got it. Are we gonna surf the spider? Like, Sorimachi looks over his shoulder, perhaps sensing something behind him, and I can see his face contort as he realizes what it is. Ah, yeah, I remember this scene in Bayonetta 3. A crimson spider darts from tree to tree, maintaining a distance of roughly 20 meters to Sorimachi's rear. Gasan isn't the only Tsurugi capable of bounding through the forest. In spider form, Muramasa gives any monkey a run for its money.
速度を上げる振り落とされないで
I'm gonna speed up. Hang on.
承知。
Do it. Do it. I put more strength into my grip, securing myself to Muramasa's back. Our method of pursuit doesn't permit for a stable field of vision, but then the same could be said about standard Tsurugi flight. With my target in sight, I raise my sword and prepare to strike. Sorimachi returns his eyes to the road, but before he does, I see a flash of indecision cross his face. My guess? He was considering whether to equip his Tsurugi. He chooses not to, likely concluding it would present too great of an opening with us already at his back, and instead he opens his throttle, making a break for it. Just what I wanted. The right curve flattens out into a short straightaway. Here the bike has the advantage. The distance gradually opens. However, soon comes another long curve. The bike loses speed and the spider closes in. Before I can get within reach, another straight. He pulls away in the straight, so we close on the curves. The range shrinks and grows, but always hovers near 20 meters.
拉致が開かない
This isn't working.
今から開ける。村正、糸を飛ばせ。
It's about to.
槍と箸、同時にだ。
Loose your threads, spear and bridge simultaneously.
了解
Got it. Muramasa's steel threads streak toward their target like glittering arrows, far faster than the monobike ahead. In the blink of an eye, they fall on Sorimachi from behind. However, he's no common man. That blink of an eye is all he needs to turn and assess the threat. The blade of his cane leaps from its sheath and carves a shimmering pattern in the air. In a flash, every thread is cut from the sky. Such swordplay can only be described as demonic. To defend effortlessly against an attack from behind while maintaining control of a speeding bike, an impossible feat. So we got 3 people we can't we struggle to beat. This is gonna be interesting. However, I've already recognized this man as being in Hikaru's league. The impossible is exactly what I expected.
村正、巻き込め。
Muramasa, pull! At my signal, Muramasa sucks in her threads. Not those launched at Sorimachi, but those tied up around on the trees up ahead. What the? The man's sickly pallor turns even more pale, and a moment later his face leaps into point-blank range, or rather, it is we who go to meet it. Using the leading threads to tow ourselves in, we bound forward in one great burst of speed, with more than enough to catch up to the bike. But Sorimachi Ichizo remains unyielding. His trick sword lashes out towards my neck. The speed and precision of his slash are masterful, but not enough this time to overcome the disadvantage of being attacked from behind. My strike knocks his sword aside, taking body and bike with it. I bear down, forcing him off balance. Alright. The vehicle flips, and with Sorimachi still on it, careens over the edge of the road. A motorcycle accident, that's gonna be unpleasant. A splash into the river, of course.
川へ落ちたみたい悪運の強い男ね
Sounds like he fell in the river. Lucky guy. I bring Muramasa to a stop and peer over the edge below. I see Sorimachi lying, partially submerged in a small mountain river. His motorbike nowhere to be seen, but there are signs it slid further downhill. He doesn't look seriously injured, a minor miracle considering the height from which he fell. The water must have dampened the impact somewhat, and I'm inclined to agree with Muramasa's assessment of his luck. He appears unconscious, though by training my eyes I can see the fingers of his right hand are moving, scrabbling vainly in the mud for something. Presumably his cane sword just stuck in a tree several meters away.
どうするの
What do we do?
命に別状はなさそうか。
Is he likely to survive?
ええあのままうっかりと寝返りを打って溺死したりしない限りは平気でしょ
As long
骨
as he
折も
doesn't
して
roll
いないよう
deeper
だけど、
and drown or
予
something.
告通り手足を何本かもらっていく？
I don't think he broke any bones either. Should we do his plan and relieve him of some limbs?
いや、いい。あの様子なら打撲で数日は動けまい。無力化には成功したと言っていいだろう。これ以上は不要。
Nah. He'll have sustained enough contusions to keep him out of commission for a few days. He's no longer an immediate threat. There's no need to pursue him further. Won't he have regenerated in like a day? A day or two? I guess. Well, we only need to buy time, still. If he is working for, Ginsego, wouldn't you want to kill him anyway? Your goal is to eliminate Ginsego, but you're leaving its lieutenants alive? Alright.
それもそうね。
行動へ戻るぞ。あまり長い間留守にしていたくない。
Let's return to the mine. I don't want to leave it vulnerable for too long.
え、
Alright. I look up at the sky. It's nearly noon.
Kora, Funa! 待ちなさい!
How did I get back here?
こっち!
This way.
こっちじゃないの。じっちゃまが言ってたでしょ。今お山は危ないんだから寄り道しないで帰らないと。
That way. We're supposed to go straight home. Didn't you hear, Grandpa? It's dangerous to be out on the mountain.
すごい音聞こ
I heard a big
え
noise.
た。それが危ないことかもしれないんだってば。もう、ねえやの言うこと聞きなさい。
Might be what he was talking about. Funa, listen to your sister. Found
ニ
it.
ッケじゃなくて
That's not the... Oh.
人間。
It's a man.
大変。
what do we
どうしようどうしよう。
Sir, are you
大丈
alive?
夫ですか？は
Hey,
ーい、
are
生
you
きてる？
alive?
ふな、やめなさい。
Let's stop that.
起きた。
He's up. He is? Hello?
どうしよう。とりあえず川から出してあげた方がいいのかな。
I guess we should get him out of the river.
おいちゃん、どうした？
Hey, mister, what's wrong?
おいちゃん、
Mister? Mister? He's laughing.
大丈夫
Are
です
you
か？
alright? What happened to you?
どうしたんですか？
いや何大したこっちゃありませんよ。気にしないでおくんなさいませ。
Just business as usual. Nothing for you to worry about.
そう言われても相当偉いことになってるような。
But this looks pretty serious.
私はしがないチンピラの小悪党でしてね。
A small-time villain, you see?
はあ、
Okay.
チンピラ
Villain. A bad guy?
悪者？
だもんで善玉の野郎に退治さ
Yep,
れ
a
ちまった
bad
んです
guy. And I got my ass kicked by the good guy.
ふーん。
Wow.
そりゃね、世の中こうでなきゃ悪党は退治される。
Now this is how the world
で
ought
な
to
い
be.
とどっちも張り合いっ
You
ての
gotta
が
have good
ない
guys
じゃあ
to
りま
take
せ
on
ん
the
か。
bad. Else where's the fun in it all? He's just laughing.
寝た？
He went to sleep.
なんだかよくわからないけど放ってはおけないよ
I'm
ね。
not sure what's going on.
よし、ふな、手伝って。
We can't just leave him here. Okay, give me a hand with him, Funa. Okay. In before he kills the kids or tries to use them as leverage. Twilight's come and the mountain's still quiet, much to my dismay.
遅い。
He's late. Yep.
石膏の反町一蔵を制圧したことが裏目に出たのかもしれません。
Neutralizing his forward scout may have backfired. The enemy has 3 Musha, we have 1. I thought it necessary to reduce their numbers, but if in doing so I put them further on the defensive, the plan may be doomed to failure. Perhaps I should have let Sorimachi go, as I did Gasan, and accepted the risk of possibly facing 3 enemies simultaneously. In my zeal to secure a tactical advantage, I may have lost sight of the greater strategy. It's foolish, I berate myself. Nothing will come of worrying over what I can't change.
多少慎重になったのは事実であろうがな。その程度のことで穴熊を決め込んでしまうほどあの男はまだ枯れておらん
He
よ。
has a new objective, and you should know that, right, old man? His new objective is Ayane? Or Ichijo, whatever you want to call her. Well, it probably made him a little more cautious. He's not so withered as to hole up in his cave because of something like that. Yeah, he's probably plotting something involving her and doesn't value it as much, or isn't willing to act yet.
は
If you say so.
あやつは行動を諦められん。ゆえに来る。
Can't give up the
これ
mine.
は間
Therefore,
違い
he'll
ない。
come.
ベアトリーチ
Of that, I have no doubt.
はい。
But the question is
しかし
when.
問題は時間です。
In the worst case scenario, Lieutenant Otori's replacement could arrive, and this very night to undo all her work. Even if that happens, I'll have no choice but to slay the prefect for the village. However, the meaning of that act will change dramatically. I was seen entering the mayor's house, and I'm known to have stayed with the Amishi on the mountain. Rokuhara may well look at those truths and judge the entire village responsible for the death of their officer. It would be catastrophic. In order to avoid destroying the entire village for the sake of my personal quest, I must finish this while they still claim they were following GHQ orders. Time is
もう
running
少
out.
し派手に誘いをかけましょう。この際です。
Let's make a
本
bigger
当に
explosion.
行動
Draw
を
'em out.
潰しかねないほどの爆破を。
One that could actually collapse the whole tunnel system. No, wait.
いや。五郎、
Elder?
どうやらその儀は無用の様子。
It seems that won't be necessary.
ようやく堪忍袋の尾を切ったわ。
The old fool's patience has finally run out. A thunderous roar peals across the amber sky, and from the horizon comes a steel warrior trailing a plume of smoke. It dances among the clouds, playful, mocking, taunting. Its jittering motions like the scrawl of a child's brush. Amusha has come, but only one. As instructed, the villagers working at the mine drop everything and scatter. After a glance to make sure they've all fled, I look up again at the airborne Tsurugi, straining my eyes to make out its form.
俺はガッサン
That's Gasan.
風魔小太郎。
Uma Kotaro.
ほう、あれが。なるほど。
Oh.
のう。なかなかにくせ者と見えるわ。
I see. It looks
あの
every
鋼
bit as,
鉄、
it looks every bit as wily as its master.
まさに。
White, but
しかし。
however. Yeah, where's the other one?
ん？大官が。
The prefect. I don't see him. Gasan is alone in the sky. Of course, that seems like a good plan, right? You engage Gasan, the prefect strikes from ambush, putting you in a 2v1 situation from an unknown location. That's obviously what you do, right? And if Gasan's in trouble, he just disengages with his stealth, or just wins in the 1v1. Though the prefect's damaged wings are likely also a factor, this is obviously a diversion. If I go after Gasan, the prefect will attack the mine in my absence, but everyone's already left.
構わぬ。雪、御堂。
No matter. Go, Mido.
いや、
But that
や
would
め
leave
と
you.
慣れの留守を大官が襲う。分かっておる。
Open to the prefect's
そちら
attack?
は撃てが引き受けた。
I'll be his opponent.
無謀です。武者に常人が挑むなど。
An unarmored man against a Musha? It's madness.
無謀は無謀だがな。なんとかなろうさ。向こうは翼を失った武者。こちらはこちらで少々の手妻がある。
So it is,
そ
but
う
I imagine it'll
悪い
work out
勝
all
負
the
で
same.
もない。
He lost his wings, and I still have a few tricks up my sleeve. Not bad odds, if you ask me. Yeah, that's a Chad move. Since, as far as we know, there's literally no weapon on Earth that can even damage a Tsurugi. Yeah, good luck. I guess, you can take, what's it called? plan of the scorpion guy and blind him with blood/pocket sand if you're really good at it. But he does have infrared and radar sensors, so it can probably operate without eyesight if it needs to, especially at short ranges.
ご老人、死ぬおつもりか。
Elder, do you mean to die?
いやいや、孫どもも幼い。まだ死ねぬよ。案ずるな、ミド。
Not at all.
ウテは守るべき者のために戦う。
My granddaughters are
そ
still
して、
young.
そういう者は死んではならんことを知
I
ってい
can't die
る。
yet. Fear not, Mito. A man with something to protect knows better than to throw his life away. You say that.
死んで守れるものなどないからな。
But no one's died to further the edge of this plot yet.
笑ってくれてよいぞ。
You can't protect anything after you're dead. That was a joke. You can laugh.
ほ、
No, no.
ゆかれよ。
There is your opponent.
出陣の花向けに一言を送るなら、ミド。誰の剣は紛れもなく天下至強。
There is your opponent, but before you go, let me give you a final word of advice, Mito. Your Tsurugi is unsurpassed by any under heaven.
良きにしろ悪しきにしろ、その力は絶強。何者にも劣るを知らぬ。さればミド。
Be it a blessing or a
誰は
curse,
その司教を
its
ひ
power
と
is
えに
supreme.
信じよ。
Therefore,
そ
you
れだけでよ
still
い。
going.
それだけ
Old man, am I
で
right?
打ち勝てる。
You done yet, old man? Okay, we can continue. Be it a blessing or a curse, its power is supreme. Therefore, you need only trust in its strength with all your heart. Do so, and you will never know defeat.
我らの前に立ちふさがる者、あまねくすべてに。
All who dare stand before you will scatter like dust in the wind. Well, it's clearly the arc where we learn to trust Muramasa.
は、
I'll take your
受け
words
たま
to
わりま
heart.
した。ミド、酒はいける口かな。
Do you drink me, though?
それは一応
Drink? As much as
人
the
並
next
み程
person.
度には。
Yeah, sure.
では、今宵は一献組み交わそう。思えば、御堂と出会ってからは世話しないこと続きで、そんな暇もなかったが、
With all that's happened, we haven't had a chance to just sit down with a bottle. So tonight we're
年
drinking,
寄り
alright?
にとって若い者との酒は何よりの薬だというに、うちの孫は二人とも娘、しかもまだ子供とあってはどうにもならぬ。
I see.
得難い機会よ。ミド、付き合ってもらえぬか。
Nothing is more gratifying for an old man than to share sake with the young, but my grandchildren are both girls and not yet of an age to enjoy the taste. It's a rare opportunity, Mito. Will you join me?
御意に、
Of
Do-
course.
今宵、
Then until tonight.
村正、
Muramasa?
ミド、
Mito?
期待状況を送れ。
Status
了
report.
解。
Sending. Armor 44 out of 52, power 41 out of 52, thrust 38 out of 52, maximum speed 34 out of 52. She really likes the number 52, doesn't she? It looks like we're mostly up there. We're above half. Electromagnetic distortion disabled. Imperial edict limited prohibition. Electromagnetic corruption disabled. Imperial edict absolute prohibition. Ooh. Alright. Enchant enabled. Railgun enabled. Okay, we got 2 attacks.
戦闘に一切の支障なし。
Ready for combat.
承知。
Battle.
もい。
No chant, right into battle. Tonight you said, but Elder, tonight. When I visit you tonight. Would you be alive? Yeah, that's my question.
もうよかろうよ。
You can come out now.
それとも、うてにさえも臆したか。
Or do you hide even from me?
抜かせ。
Hardly.
あの小酌な若造を避けたのは事実。復旧を遂げるまでは何を言われようと構わんが、貴様などに怯えねばならぬ理由が 一体どこにある？
Alright,
あまり笑かしてくれるなよ、ヤゲンタ。
the angular, angry man versus the old dark elf. Village elder type. True, I avoided facing that whelp. I'll do whatever it takes to claim my victory. Honor be damned. But you, Yagentha, present no threat whatsoever. Hide from you? Don't make me laugh.
それは上々。ようやく決着をつけられるというものだ。
The very words I wanted to hear. Now we can finally settle our score.
こちらのセリフを奪うでないわ。今更になって腹を決めたたわけが、こうたんぶるのもほどほどにしておけ。俺まで道化芝居の役者になる。
Stop stealing my lines, Yagentha. It took you 30 years to find your spine, and now you think you can play the valiant? It's starting to feel more and more like a grand joke.
道化よ、右京。なれも打てもな。道化以外の何だという。50の坂を下りながら、核もろくでもなき理由で切り結ぼうとする我らが。
That's exactly what it is, Ukyo. And the two of us are the punchline. Look at us. Past 50 and about to cross blades for no reason at all. What are we but painted clowns?
およそ人並みの知恵があればなされぬ諸行であろうよ。これは出来の悪い滑稽劇。人の失笑を買う種以外の何者でもない。
Boy, if we had a brain between us, we would not be here now. This is but a poorly written farce worthy of only disdain.
違うとは言わんがな。我らの生をここまでくだらぬ芝居に仕立てたのは貴様の兄弟よ。30年前に殺していればよかったの
But
だ。
it was your cowardice that reduced our lives to
30
offal.
年前に殺されていればよかったのだ。
I should have killed you 30 years ago, and you should have killed me 30 years ago. Oh, this guy really hates his life, doesn't he? He's gained rulership of this village, and in his mind, he's gained nothing. It's like the guy's a count, and he's like, yeah, I went from a regular ass guy to like to nobility, and it doesn't mean anything. All right, buddy.
30年。貴様がくれたこの年月、ヘドのような30年だったわ。
30 years.
何を得ても何を奪っても心が満ちぬ。それが代わりでしかないからだ。
The time your gutlessness granted me wasn't worth spit. No matter what I earned or took, it was never enough. It could never replace her.
ただ閉じた輪の中を回るようなくだらぬ時間であった。
Like a rat running on the wheel. Running and running. 30 years lived and wasted. Yes, this guy is digging for some sort of mineral well to try and kill a god. Destroying whatever's in the mine is his goal, right?
そうか。
I see.
やはりなれはそういう男よ、右京。
You'll always be the same man, Ukyo.
いくら歳月が流れようと変わるわけがない。なれにとっては決着がつかぬ限り何事も決して終わらんのだからな。
Years become decades, but you never change. To you, closure is everything and nothing ends in your mind until all debts are paid.
そこを打ても一姫も見誤った。時の癒しは誰にも平等と思い込んだ。誰の上にもいずれと。
Both Ichihime and I failed to
誰の性
understand
格
your
は知っていたはずな
nature.
のにな。
We thought time healed everyone equally and that even you would one day forget. We should have known better.
一言だけを浴びておく。すまなかった、右京。
Though I cannot make amends, I'll say this. I'm sorry, Ukyo.
今さら俺がそんな言葉を欲しがると思うのか。
Genta, after all this time, you think that's what I want? Your apology?
思わぬよ。誰には長老としか聞こえまい。だがこれもけじめというもの。
I'm sure it falls on your ears as an insult.
口先の詫びで済ませるつもりはない。
But so be it.
遅れた決着をくれてやる。
It's my responsibility to acknowledge my mistakes and correct them.
誰を終わらせてやろうぞ、右京。30年分の負債、今ここで清算する。
I'll grant you an end, Ukyo, like you always wanted. 30 years of debt here to be repaid.
言いよったわ、老輩が。貴様一人で俺を終わらせる。おざげ、今となっては貴様を殺し、お山の神を殺し、一姫を奪わぬ限り何も終わらぬ。
Stop your barking, old man. You'll grant me an end? I'll slay the mountain god and claim Ichihime. There can be no other end.
貴様など、その最初の踏み台に過ぎん。叩き潰して打ち捨てる。
You're but
勝手
the
に
first
土へ
step
帰
on my
るがい
path.
い。
I'll crush you and toss you aside. Rot with the worms, Yugenta.
こいちゅ
For Asia United. Ha!
またその棒切れか。何のまじないかは知らぬが、そんなもので俺にどう抗うという。
That stick again? Some kind of charm, I suppose. How do you expect to fight me with that?
こうするのよ。
Like this.
世に鬼あれば鬼を断つ。
Where
世
there are
に悪あれば悪を断つ。
Where there are demons, I slay them. Where there is evil, I smite it.
剣の断り、ここにあり。
Mine is the way of the sword.
右京、これが何かわかるか。
Do you know what this is, Ukyo?
剣。
A tsurugi?
しかり。我らが坑道を掘り始めるとき、守り石を砕き、中の神宝を奪ったであろう。
Just so. Remember when you opened the mine? You shattered the guardian stone and took what lay within?
これはその断片よ。
And this is a fragment of that treasure.
ほう。するとそれは曲がりなりにも天下一名物ということか。
So it was indeed the first under heaven.
あの剣、どうにも扱えぬので反町に渡してしまったが、欲しいことをしたな。貴様が使えると知っておればくれてやったものを、いささか面白くなったであろうに。
But now okay, so that tsurugi wouldn't answer me no matter how I tried, so I gave it to Sorimachi. But now I regret that decision. If I'd known you could use it, I'd have given it to you, and you might have put up a fight.
おごっておれよ、右京。片輪の武者ごとき、この小太刀一つで釣りが来る。
Enough posturing. This Kodachi is more than enough for a wingless musha like you.
随分と安く見積もられたものだ。釣りをもらうのはこちらよ、ヤゲンタ。
I think you'll find your confidence is misplaced. It's you who will die today, Yugenta.
すぐに知れる。
We'll soon see.
参れ、
I've
右
asked
京。
you, Ukyo. Okay.
これこれどうした村正よ。めった打ちのやられっぱなしではないか。
Back, we've returned to Monkey. Oh, what's wrong, Muramasa? Surely you have something better to do than take my blows?
それでも天下の陽光か。草葉の陰で先祖の霊が泣いておろうぞ。
Is this the strength of the mighty demon? I can hear your ancestors crying in the underworld.
少しは打ち返してくれればこちらも気分が悪い。剣を打ち交わすからこそ太刀打ちと申す。こう一
back, will you?
方的ではの立ち木打ちではないか。いや困ったの困ったの。
It looks like we're at or near full energy. Strike back, will you? I'm starting to feel like a bully. It's not a duel unless both parties fight. It's no better than facing a practice dummy. What a shame. A shame. His mockery echoes across the crimson sky, and we're powerless to stop it. The moment we engaged with the enemy, he vanished from sight and radar once again. As before, we have no choice but to weather his assault. There's nothing we can do. Without eyes and ears, we're utterly helpless. Unless we can defeat his Kirigakure, we'll be trapped in this labyrinth forever.
一体どういうことなの？姿を消し、ダンサーを撹乱するしのぎ。そこまでは100歩譲って認めてもいい。けれどそれをこんなにも長時間維持し続けるなんて。
How is this possible? Fine, I'll accept there's a shinogi that can fool both radar and sight, but there's no way he can keep it up for this
そ
long.
の熱量はどこから調達してるの？食事しながら戦ってるとでも言うわけ？
Where's the energy coming from? Is he eating in the middle of combat?
それはないと思うが消化に悪そうだ
Doubtful. It would be bad for digestion, especially while flying.
そうね。じゃあきっと心臓が2つあるんでしょうよ。
You're absolutely right. So he's got 2 hearts, does he?
落ち着け村正
Calm down, Muramasa. I try to pacify my irate Tsurugi, although I doubt it'll have much effect. Unlike most Tsurugi, forged purely as weapons of war, Muramasa bears a distinct purpose to destroy her predecessor. As a result, she's sometimes far more emotional than Tsurugi are wont to be. Still, a Tsurugi is a Tsurugi, and Muramasa's systems have not faltered once during this fight, which suggests that she's not as distressed as her words would indicate, so there's no need to worry about her losing control. The real problem is how to overturn this crushing disadvantage.
そんなものかそんなものかいの村正よ
Is that it? Is that all you have, Muramasa?
背面鋼鉄に損傷。このどうしろってのよ。
Damage to the dorsal armor. What the hell did we do?
落ち着け
Calm down, I repeat, despite knowing there's no need. The words are meant for myself. When trapped in a seemingly irrational situation, there's always some loose thread waiting for a tug. There has to be a trick, some sleight of hand to make the impossible possible. I must locate the missing piece of this puzzle in order to break the spell, and if I can't, both Muramasa and I will end up scattered across the sky. What if it is lesser telekinesis? It is long-range telekinesis for small objects. And it's just the sword attacking. The Dragoon assumes the right Jodan, the basic stance of Musha combat. In response, the Amishi raises his Kodachi to Chudan, the middle hold as though preparing to meet his foe's mighty blade. The standard application of Kodachi is to attack after answering the enemy's strike, a strategy necessitated by the weapon's inferior reach. However, Yugenta has ignored this principle. His blade's a little too low, his weight a little too far forward to present an effective defense. His intent is obvious: to attack. When facing a much longer weapon, to abandon defense is reckless to the extreme. Masters of the Kodachi are able to get inside their opponent's range without taking an attack, but even then only after laying the foundation to conceal their intent. An obviously offensive posture is out of the question. What plan is Yugenta hiding behind this insanity? None whatsoever. Has he reached the supreme state of emptiness? No, this is the supreme state of foolishness, of course. The Dragoon before him is ruled by a single desire, a foolish dream that compels him to crush everything in his path. Will clever technique serve any purpose faced with such a foe? Well, I thought that was the whole point of this fight, to find out if this guy's got some tricks that'll upend the fully armored Tsurugi in front of him. No, the single-minded passion of this Musha will obliterate any rational defense. And so Yugenta chooses the only path open to him, to give himself to madness and defeat Ukyo on his own terms. He too has a foolish dream, an absurd notion that he must stop this man himself. He could just as easily run, leave Ukyo for someone else to slay, no one would blame him. But he does not, choosing instead to shoulder a burden he was never obliged to bear. The trifling obsession that leads him to do so, the remnant of a long-lost time and place whose only inhabitants were himself, the man before him, and the woman whose love both failed to claim. The woman is gone now, it fails to him, therefore, to write the final page, for there were only ever 3 characters in their story, and none but they can end it. Folly. Utter folly. With folly in his heart, the Amishi goes to battle. With folly in his heart, the Dragoon goes to battle. Their dreams are nonsense, the stuff of rank comedy, yet worth every fiber of body and soul. Their blades quiver with the power of it. Now's the time. And now the old men go to it.
この老いぼれめ
You old dotard. Dotard?
バカタレめ
I didn't even know they had Dota in the 1940s, but here we are. Dotards. A real insult in an official translation. You insufferable ass.
Ukyo,
Are you still alive?
生きておるかなめるな
Don't be stupid.
この程
It's
度で
just a flesh wound.
この俺
I
が
won't.
呆れたしぶとさよ腹を抜かれてその元気か
Your tenacity is astounding. A blade in the gut and you still want more? Careful, he might reach on.
楽にしてくれよ
I'll put you out of your misery.
いらぬ
Keep your mercy.
右京
Yeah.
負けぬ負けぬぞ
I won't.
俺は山を掘るのだ神などいないと
I have to crack the mountain.
ただの安っぽい石ころに過ぎぬと
Just crumbling rock.
一姫に教えてやるのだそうして手に
And
入
then
れ
she'll be mine.
こい
Ichihime
つを
will be mine.
一姫を手
Sad
に入れる
sax.
のだ
The sad sax playing in the background. Solid audio track. Good job. A Demon Muramasa.
うてが送ってやろうぞ右京誰を一姫のもとに
Ichihime is waiting, Yukio. I'll send you to her side.
やけんた
Getta.
さらば
Farewell.
新垣の右京やげんた
あ
お
ヤゲンタじいさん
Gramps, huh?
あれここどこだ
Where the hell am I?
一条のお嬢どうしてここに
Ichijo, what are you doing here?
いや帰る前にあんたに挨拶しとこうと思って和尚に山に住んでるって聞いてきたんだけど
Well, I thought I'd say goodbye before I left. The abbot pointed me in the direction of the mountain,
ど
but
こをどう間違ったんだか気がついたら林の中に入っちまってて
I must have taken a
朝から
wrong turn
今
or
まで
something.
ずっとぐるぐると
I wound up back in the forest, been wandering around since morning. And Ukyo stabs the old man. Her sense of direction is truly great.
あいや別に方向音痴じゃないからなただちょっと森の散策も風流かなとか思って適当に歩いてたからこうなっただけで
Oh, it's not like I don't have a sense of direction or anything like that. I just thought I'd go for a nice walk through the trees. Yeah, I ended up taking longer than I thought.
一姫
Ichihime.
あって昨日の病の野郎てめえもいたのか
Oh, that jackal from the other day. See her too. Wait. That's Tsurugi?
一姫
Ichihime.
いかんジョー逃げよ
No, run! Ichijo!
え
Eh?
お前を俺の
I will claim
こ
you.
の手に俺の一
You're
姫
mine. Ichihime.
嫌だっつってんだろうがアホ
I thought I told you to fuck off.
うわーうきょ
Fuck you.
ベアトリー
An explosion rings out. For an instant, I think we've taken another attack. But there's no impact to accompany the sound. It came from elsewhere.
村正今
What
のは
was
何
that?
だ
山の方角よ。爆発じゃない。何か激しいぶつかり合いが。武者の太刀打ちのような何かが。
Came from the mine. It wasn't an explosion. It sounded more like two musha doing battle.
大官とヤゲン太郎か
And the prefect? I direct my gaze toward the mountain, but can't make out anything from there. The prefect Tsurugi may be damaged, but Yagenta is unarmored, and whatever his plan, a prolonged battle is unthinkable. The attack we just heard likely settled things. If Yagenta has won, then all is well. If he hasn't, I must return to the mine with all haste. Not that Gassan is likely to let me go.
ミド、カモトから犬の神。
10 o'clock high.
Gassan?
Jusanmi is there, sitting in Muramasa's towering reticle like it never vanished. Why did it suddenly appear?
つまらぬな。こんなことをしていても気が腐るばかりよ。
This is starting to bore me, Muramasa.
そろそろその首いただくとしようかの。
I might just fall asleep at this rate, oh well. I suppose it's time to take your head and finish this?
いかにしてだ。
And how exactly will you manage that one? Has he shown himself to prepare for a new attack?
この後に及んで強がりおる。それとも何かな。この合算に一刀打ち込む方策。ようよう見つけ出したとでも言うのかの。
Oh, such fight left in you. I wonder why. Could it be you finally found a way to lay a finger on old Gassan?
見えているぞ。風魔小太郎。
I see you, Fuma Kotaro. What? For the first time, I hear genuine surprise in the old villain's voice. Wait, what's going on here? Could he really not have noticed he'd lost his invisibility?
残機三下六根少女。残機三下六根少女。
Regret, repentance, and purification? Regret, repentance, purification? He's gone.
ミド、回避。
Evades.
また来る。
One more. Damage report.
警備。でも楽観しないで。急に攻撃から遊びがなくなった。
Minor, but don't relax yet. He stopped playing around. The attacks come in rapid succession, the first truly serious offensive the Fuma chieftain has unleashed. Muramasa's right, he's not playing anymore. More than that, he's desperate. But why the sudden change? There's only one possible answer.
ミド。
He's got to be low on juice, right?
今のが致命的な失敗だったからだ。つまりはそういうこと。
What happened just now was a critical blunder. Yeah? Analyze the situation, Minato Kageaki. First, the sudden boom from the mountain. A loud noise, but that was all. Even if it shook the ground, it couldn't have affected the Gassan up here in the sky. And yet Gassan became visible at that very moment, and without realizing it. Why? If the noise startled him into dropping his shinogi, the outlaw of Soshu, balking at a sound, there's no chance he wouldn't have noticed. And if he wasn't surprised, then there's no reason for his shinogi to have failed. A paradox. And the truth is here, I can feel it. But what if I just had one more piece?
背面鋼鉄に損傷。いけない。これ以上は持たない。
Damage to dorsal armor, we can't take another hit there. Is it not enough? Will I never reach her? Am I doomed to fail here? Will you lose to this random monkey before even facing Ginseko? Death is the fate of the warrior, yes, but it's too soon. I don't deserve that escape.
ミド。
Mido?
お前は熱源探査に専念しておけ。余計な資料は無用。
Concentrate on finding his heat signature. Don't waste time thinking.
ミド。ガッサンとは出羽にある霊山のこと。
Gassan is a sacred mountain in Dewa.
知っている。誰もそんなことを尋ねてはいない。
I know that. This is no time for trivia.
ガッサンは出羽三山の主砲なの。
Gassan is the tallest of the 3 mountains of Dewa.
それがどう。
What does that have to... 3 mountains?
ガッサン信仰はガッサンだけで完結しない。羽黒山、湯殿山と合わせて一つの信仰になる。
Gassan isn't worshipped alone, but together with Haguro and Yudono. Not alone, 3 together. Which means...
つまり。
ええ。けれど、
Question
そ
is
れが
where...
どこかとなると。
見晴らしの良い場所だ。村正。そうでなければ術を施せない。
Somewhere with a
そし
view.
て、妖術の解けるきっかけになったと
Somewhere,
おぼしき
otherwise they
先の
couldn't
ゴ
apply
ー
their
ル。
shinogi. Think back to the
俺は
explosion
ど
that
こで
caused the
発した
lamps. Where did it occur? Consider the evidence. Gassan is incomplete on his own. A change on the mountain disrupted his shinogi. He didn't realize that it had failed. It requires an impossible supply of energy, pointing to one conclusion. There. Hassan's Kinchojo lashes out at us. Still untraceable. Ignore it. He's not much concern now. I drop pitch and dive, dive, dive. Gravity aids my descent. Even the faster Gassan will have difficulty catching up at this speed. He pursues all the same, of course. I feel his malice stabbing into the soles of my feet. Here he comes. Mido!
NANI?!
Impossible! The fury of the glancing blow turns my guts to ice. No doubt his attack would have finished us, if it landed true. Just now I felt Muramasa's warning before her voice reached my ears. I was able to effect an otherwise impossible evasion that way. And now there's nothing between us and the two mountains supporting Gassan.
Muramasa! 山頂周辺に熱源探知!
Scan the peak for heat signatures. Scanning.
社の裏手よ。そ
There.
こに2機。
Two behind the shrine. I have them. Two Musha by the old altar. Haguro and Yudono. There, the trick behind the Kirigakure. Two Musha applying their shinogi to Gassan while hidden on the ground. This explains everything. Gassan's cloak was accomplished by two Musha working together in concert. It's likely one shinogi blocks light while the other distorts radar. Gassan's incantation wasn't a shinogi trigger but a signal to his allies. The two grounded Musha focused solely on their shinogi while Gassan spent his energy solely on flight. This explains the absurd duration of his invisibility. Three Musha forming a single invincible warrior, just as the three mountains of Dewa form one divine entity. You could also have gotten this hint earlier in the story, if you recall that he had several mercenaries and not just one. And we haven't seen his other mercenary assistants. If the duel between Yagentha and the prefect had not shaken the mountain and broken their concentration, thereby causing the lapse in Gassan's invisibility, we likely would have never defeated them. The Musha on the mountain surely didn't expect the battle to go this way. Their distress is apparent. A moment of hesitation and they turn to flee, but too late. Once, twice, I swing my sword, catching each Musha in the back. There's no other foothold on this cramped mountain peak, and the slope is steep and sudden. Helpless to resist, they're sent tumbling all the way to the base of the mountain. A fall like that isn't enough to kill a Musha, however. Honore Muramasa? Ooh. Gassan dives upon us in panicked fury, his illusory veil gone, leaving him visible to the naked eye. And without his comrade's support, the ancient Gassan is just another Musha. There's nothing to fear from him now. My Gatari howls and we rise to meet him. Surprisingly, so full battery.
村正はその程度か。そう問うたわね。ガッサンの視点。
I remember your question, Master of Gassan. You asked if it was all we had.
この程度よ。
Here's your answer.
無念かな我が馬天運尽きておったか
Regret. Alas, poor Fuma, our luck has run out at last. And gone. Everything explodes.
つばよ。
Mido, the guard. Make sure the other two guys are dead. As the pieces of Gassan scatter on the wind, the guard of Muramasa's Nodachi returns to us.
これで2つ。
This makes two.
あ
Yes.
村正
何ミド。
What is it, Mido?
今回は助けられた
This victory is yours.
俺の被災をお前が補ったお前の助言がなければ勝てなかったろう
You made up for my incompetence. Without your advice, I could not have defeated the enemy. Big Titty Ninja is gone, alas.
だが今後は無用だ
In the future, leave everything to me.
いいえ、
No.
無用なんかじゃない。
You're wrong, Mido.
あなたこそ何も考えなければいい。
You who should leave everything to me.
まだ片付いてはいない
We're not finished yet.
行動へ
Let's
急
hurry
げ
to the mine.
ええ、
Yeah. Alright, what does the aftermath of this battle look like? Perhaps.
じいさん 何やってんだよあんた。刀の前に立ったりしたら死ぬに決まってんだろうが。
Surprising literally nobody, Ichijo got him killed. Not even surprised. It's like, well, this guy's super dead now. Ichijo just showing up, causing problems. Being oblivious when there's two people having a sword fight, and she just runs in and is like, hey, what's up, guys? You having a good time? Tsurugi versus the guy with the sword, and you're like, I'll just distract the guy who's winning. Oh, because I like him. Oh, he's dead. That's bad news. Anyway, yep.
そいつは知らなんだ。
I knew I was forgetting
これは
something.
撃てとしたことが
My age must be
と
catching
ん
up
だ
with
間
me.
抜けであったわい。
喋るな。今手当てする。こんなもん出血さえ止めればどうってこと。
Talking, I'll bandage you up. You just gotta stop the bleeding. You'll be fine.
いや、ジョ
Ichijo,
ー、撃てからもう一つ教えようか。
this is probably a fatal wound.
これは多分な。
なわけねえだろ。あんた死んだことあんのか。ないだろうが。死んだこともないくせに自分が死ぬかどうかなんてわかるわけねえだろ。
Like hell it is. Have you ever died before? No? How can you know you're dying if you've never been dead?
おお、なるほど、なるほ
Of
ど。
course, always right.
そりゃあ、
Always
ジョーの言う通りよ。
Just like
言う通り。
Ichihime.
ジョーは正しいことしか言わぬな。
This was like the most obvious scene
一
happening,
姫
right?
を思い出すわ。
Like there was a 0% chance anything else would happen. The second the duel starts, you know the old man's gonna die, and you don't know how. When Ichijo shows up, you know immediately how he dies, with like 100% certainty. All right, rest in R.I.P. in peace.
じいさん。
ジョー、逃げなされ。
Run, Ichijo.
撃てには構わず。
バカ言うな。
Not leaving.
いやいや、ジョーの言う通り、撃ては死なぬでな。
I'll be fine, just like you said.
案ずるには及ばぬよ。
Trust your expert opinion and go.
人の上げ足取ってんなよ。そんなざまで。あーくそ。じじばばってのはこんなんばっかりか。
Now's not the time to be turning my words around. Why are all geezers like this? Is she an expert at running away? She's an expert at getting lost and not doing things that would make other people's lives easier. As she was explicitly told multiple times to leave and that it was dangerous for her to be here. This guy already took a sword for her from the guy in armor who just cut him down. And then she decides not to leave after she needs to be protected from, like, the person who runs the town. Like, oh no, the guy who literally rules the city is after me. Anyway, I'll just chill out here where he knows where I am. Like, what, lady? You're a dumbass. But anyway, she gets this guy killed. I'm not too surprised.
そりゃあそうよ。若い者をからかうのだけが老人の楽しみというもの。
Because teasing the young is the only amusement we have left.
だから口聞くなっての。今担ぐからちょっと立って。って無理か。くそ。なんか人を運べるもの。
Stop talking, damn it. I'm gonna carry you. Just sit up a little shit that won't work. I need a
ジ
stretcher.
ョーよ。こいつをやろう。
Ichijo, take this.
あ、
What's this
なんだ
sit
よ
for?
この棒切れ。
何？お守りのようなものよ。
It's a
そ
charm
れ
of
を持
sorts.
ってさあ
Take it
行かれ
and go.
ゆかれいっていけるか。じいさん置いて。
Go. There's no way. I'm taking you with me.
いやいや無用よ。どうやら
Won't be
残念
necessary.
だが
I'm afraid.
今回はウテの方が正しかったらしい。
I was right after all. What do you say?
何言ってんだよじいさん。
いろいろあった。この50年いろいろあったが、
So much has happened. Long 50 years it's been.
最後が一姫の形見に見取られてとは妨害の幸。
I never thought that I'd die in the
過
arms
保
of
者であ
one
った。
who so resembles Ichihime in every way. I could ask for no better end.
過保者であったよ。
I'm blessed. Thank you, Ichijo.
じいさん。
Somehow she missed like the 3-meter tall suit of power armor and this guy duking it out, which they could literally hear from miles away. Like, the Muramasa is fighting in the sky like a mile above, and he can actively hear the conflict between these two, but somehow she didn't notice it. Like, Muramasa, not even looking at the situation, can hear it from like a kilometer above the battlefield while fighting someone who has a literal jet engine and having a literal jet engine strapped to their back. Can hear this, but she missed it. You gotta be kidding me, Ichijo. You can't be surprised at all this.
今行く一姫。
I'm coming, Ichihime.
右京
Ukyo,
誰も
hurry up, join us.
さっさと参れ。
じいさん。
Ramps.
じいさん。
Ramps.
おい。
After all that shit.
散々勝手なことだけ言って勝手に死ぬなんてありか。おい目開けろよ。
You're just gonna up and die me? Hey, open your eyes. After all that shit you said.
おい
Hey.
一姫、
Ichihime.
六波だ。
Oh god.
お前を
At last, you'll be mine.
今こそ。
ざけんなこの。
お前が欲しかった。どうしても欲しか
I
った
always wanted you more than anything else in the world.
どうしても。どうあっても。
I'll claim you now, whatever it takes.
かつては迷った。だが、今は迷わぬ。
Once I had doubts, but no more.
一姫、この手で
Ichihime, I'll have your life.
その命をもらい受ける。
Is this it?
死ぬのか
Am I
よ
gonna die?
ここで
Here.
こんな野郎に。
Here by this fucker's hand?
ばあさんの友達を殺した野郎に。私の目の前で殺した野郎
Killed
に。
grandma's friend right in front of me?
私も殺されるっていうの
And now
か。
he's gonna kill me too? I mean, I'm okay with that happening, but I have my doubts about it.
お前は俺のものだ。殺してしまえばもう誰も
You're
お
mine. If I
前に
kill
触
you,
れられない。
no one will ever take
お
you
前
from
は
me.
俺のものだ。
You'll be mine forever.
なんでだよ。なんでこのじいさんが死ななきゃならない。
But Gramps
な
has
んで
to
この
die.
野郎は勝手絶頂にしてられる。
Why can this jackal do what he wants? I don't want to say it's because of the incompetence of other people, but it's because of the incompetence of other people. I'm not pointing fingers, but smart people would have been able to figure it out.
なんで私はじいさんを守れない。なんで私はこの野郎を倒せない。
Why couldn't I protect him? Why can't I beat this scumbag?
私は一条。まっすぐに一条の聖堂を生きるように。
Ichijo.
そう願いを込めてばあさんと父様がつけてくれた名前。
It's the name Father and Grandma gave me, hoping I'd live the straight path, the righteous path.
私は一条。綾音の一条。なのに私の行くべき聖堂が
I'm
この世
Ichijo.
にはないのか。
Ayana Ichijo, but there's no righteous path. Is there no righteous path for me to walk?
この世に正義はないのか。
Is there no justice in this world?
死 死ねい一姫。
Daichi
ちくしょう
There we go.
だ
Ooh,
誰赤い
red
鎧
armor. Such a deep red.
飛んでる
I'm
よ
flying. I'm flying.
私
So this
じゃあこれ
is a Tsurugi.
剣か
Time to decapitate Ichijo. Oh wait, that's
六
later.
波
Rokuharu,
そ
why
れ
would
が
they?
なんで私を
おります。
We're gonna land.
どうか暴れずに。この高さでも落下すると危険です。
Hold still. A fall from this height could be fatal.
ちょっと待ったその声
I know that voice.
なああんたまさか
The cop
あ
from
の警官
この道をふもとまで駆け下りてください。
Please run down this road to the base of the mountain.
お急ぎを。これより六原大官長坂右京の討伐を行
I
いま
must
す。
slay the Rokuharu prefect. It will be
この
dangerous
付
to
近
stay
に
in the
おられて
vicinity.
は危険です。
討伐
You're gonna
言ってください。綾音一条さん。そのお名のように、まっすぐ。
go now, Ayana Ichijo. Straight and true as your name commands. The girl who couldn't get 10 meters without veering 45 degrees off course. Oh, good lord.
わかった
I'll
行くよ
go. She's gonna walk in a straight line and end up right behind him.
貴様、若造、どこまでも俺の邪魔をするか。
Damn you, whelp. You dare stand in my way again?
一身上の都合により。
As my needs require. I scan the area, and before me stands Nagasaka Ukyo and his damaged Tsurugi. Behind him is a small shape on the ground. Yukenta. The blood pool surrounding his body tells me he's dead.
だが、今の己は、ただの怒りに任せて刃を振るいたき衝動
At
に
this
駆られ
moment,
ている。
however, I could easily wield my blade out of rage alone.
貴様が、貴様なのに、絶望せしこの瞬間を奪わせるか。
Been waiting for this my whole life. I won't let you take it from me.
ミド急いで
Hurry,
あの
Mito.
剣負荷が近い
Its egg's about to hatch.
何
What?
て
And the prefect leaps back, then turns and makes a break for the mine. He must have realized he was at a disadvantage in the open. No matter, there's no time to pursue.
村正、山ごと潰す。
Muramasa, we're going through the mountain.
了解
エン
Understood.
チャント、エンディング。
Enchant ending.
吉野恩流合戦霊法、雪崩が崩し。
Yoshino Onryu Kasunreho, adapted from Nadare. Here we go,
レー
boys.
ルガン、脅し。
Railgun Odoshi. Damn, they really buffed Moonveil this patch.
敵機、殲滅。
Target eliminated.
来た
It's here.
闘神か。
The blade, but not all of
だ
it.
が、全部ではないな。
ええ3分の1くらいね
Looks like about a third.
この村で撃つべき敵は全て撃った。
There are no more
Sento.
enemies in this village. Situation?
終了する。
Clear.
了解じゃあ
Knowledge.
次よ
Now the next step. That awkward moment where you have a middle section of your sword. Can't exactly wield it, even broken.
戦闘の次殺戮を始めましょうミド
The battle's over, Mito. It's time for the slaughter.
深い穴
It's
を
falling.
落ちていく。
Falling.
これで
Is this the end?
終わりか。くだらぬ
This
くだらぬ
A
生涯。
worthless life.
一姫
Chihime.
やげんだ。
This guy lived. What?
なんだこれ
What is
は
this?
光。
Light?
こ
No.
れは
This is. Ah,
なんと
incredible.
いたのか。
You do
貴
exist.
様は
You were here all along.
本当になんとしたこと。おらぬと思うておったに。いてもつまらぬ石くれであろうと。
I was convinced you were a fable, that I would find nothing but rocks.
やげんた。一
Look,
姫
the Gyagenta Ichihime.
俺の負けじゃ。
Behold my defeat.
我が一生、我が戦い、完敗じゃわ。
My life, my battle, all of it for naught.
Ara, 大変。ばあや、また同じところに戻ってましてよ。
Oh my sire, we seem to be going in circles.
はて面ようなお嬢様、これはもしやバテレンの魔術ではございますまいか？
How mysterious. Could this be that Christian sorcery we've been hearing about?
孔明の計略かもしれなくてよ。それはさておき、これからどうしましょう。
Or perhaps we've fallen into one of your boy Kongming's traps? That aside, what do we do now?
もう夕刻でございます。これ以上遅れては言い訳もなかなか難しくなりましょう。
Nearly evening, any later, and we'll have difficulty explaining ourselves to the colonel.
そうね。そろそろ行きましょうか。きっともう決着もついていることでしょうし。
True, shall we get going? I'm sure it's all over by now anyway.
同感でございます。
I agree,
そう
Mr.
いえばお嬢様、
Speaking of which,
はい。
yes?
ウォルフ教授より依頼されておりました件は？
What that matter Professor Wolf asked you to handle?
ああ、すっかり忘れていました。
Slipped my mind.
あれやこれや立て込んでおりましたからね。
I see. We've been awfully busy. It's been quite a walk, hasn't it been,
あ
Sire?
まり気に留めてもいませんでしたし、理由の説明もなしに本よろしくと頼まれてもね。
Suppose I didn't
教
really
授
take
と
it
は部署
seriously.
が違いますのに。
He foisted it on me without any explanation. He's not even in my department.
さようでございますな。だいたいそもそも水質調査などどうやったもの
Very
やら。
true. Besides, I was once supposed to conduct a water quality survey
わ
anyway.
かるわけがありませんのにね。まあ一応その辺の小川から水は汲んでおきましたし、これでどうにかごまかすことにしましょう。
Haven't the foggiest. To be safe, I collected some water from a stream. He'll just have to make do with that.
御意にございます。
Very good,
し
mistress.
て
By the way,
お嬢様、
なに？
yes?
あの港影明なる人物、どのように見定められました？
That policeman, Minato Kageaki. What was your impression of him?
そうですね。
Hard to say.
見極めるには時期尚早と。
Too early to make a judgment.
ええ、まだ彼がそうなのかはなんとも。
I still don't know whether he's the one.
は
I
け
see.
れど、あれほど血生臭い人間は初めてです。
However, I've never met anyone who reeked more of
あ、
blood.
さようにお感じになられましたか。
白狼でできているかのよう。最初に目を合わせたとき、背筋に走ったおそけ。当
Like he
分
was
は
molded out of
忘
grave
れられ
wax.
そうにありません。
When I first looked into his eyes, I felt the most terrible chill up my spine. I doubt I'll forget that sensation anytime soon.
しかし、お嬢様、
ええ、あなたが考えていることは分かっているつもりよ、バーヤ。
I know,
彼は
son.
まっとうな育ちの人間だと、そう言いたいのではなくて。
He's a good man. Is that what you were thinking?
はあ、一言で言いますれば。
More or less.
私も同感です。だから、
わかりませんの。
Feel the same, which is why I can't believe it.
もっと
I need to
彼
know
のこ
more.
とを知らなくてはなりません。
さようでございますね。
As you say,
お嬢様、
どうしたの？
wrong.
あちらをご覧くださいませ。さよの老眼ではしかと見えませぬが、あれは
Over there.
人では。
Unless my old eyes deceive me, that's a person?
あら、ほんと。
Why, so it is.
なかなか凛々しいお顔の美少年ではないのかしら。女の子？
A dashing young man? No, lady?
こちらに走って参られますね。
He's running this way.
おい
Hey, you.
はい？
Yes?
その格好あんた進駐軍の人だな。なんか武器持ってないか？銃とか剣とかなけりゃ鉄パイプでもいい。
Hey, you're with GHQ, aren't you? Got any weapons, guns, swords? Even a pipe will do?
ああ、銃でしたらここに。
Yes, I have a rifle right here.
よし助かる。
Great,
そ
let
れ
me
貸して
borrow
くれ。
it.
どうされますの？
Over for
あの山にロックハラのクソ犬野郎がいるんだよ。今警察の人が戦ってる。私は火星に行くんだ。
There's a cop fighting Rokuhara back at the mine. I gotta help him.
犬どもを野放しにしてるのはあんたらだろ。あんたらの不始末を私が片付けてやるってんだ。文句ねえだろ。貸せよ。
The ones who let the jackals off the leash, I'm offering to clean up your mess. Hand it over.
そう言われては反論の言葉もありませんけれど、この銃私の私物ではありますが、一応軍の備品という扱いになっていまして。
Well, I can't argue with your assessment of our policies, but while I did pay for this rifle out of my own pocket, it's still considered military equipment.
ああ
So,
民間の方に無断で貸与するわけにはいきませんの。
I need permission to let a civilian use it.
貸しちゃダメなのか。
You can't lend it to me?
はい、ダメなんです。
Great, not.
じゃあそこに置いてくれ。盗んでくから。それなら
Leave
問
it there
題
so
な
I
いだ
can
ろ。
steal it. That's cool, right?
あら？そういうことになるのかしら。
Oh, would that work?
お嬢様、騙されかけておりますよ。
It's for
も
Stoic.
し
Let yourself
凛
be
々しい
fooled.
お方、
If I might have a word, young stalwart. Shit, another
ま
old
たジ
timer.
ジババかよ。
山で戦っている警察の御人に加勢をなさりたいとか、それはその警官殿が望まれたことでありましょうや。
You say you wish to help the officer fighting on the mountain. Did he ask for your help, perchance?
いや
What?
それは
So,
その方は逃げろとおっしゃられたのでは？
did he tell you to run?
でしたらその通りにされたがよろしいかと存じますよ。
In my opinion, you'd best do just that.
けどあのロクハラ野郎は許せねえんだ。このまま逃げたら私は
I can't just turn my back on that Rokuhara bastard. If I keep running, I'll...
ご自分の教授のために警官殿のご配慮を無にされると？
You'll reject the officer's goodwill for the sake of your pride? No, that's not... That's not...
いやそうは
Gonna get someone else killed, Ichijo?
加勢が必要であれば警官殿はそのようにおっしゃられたのではないでしょうか。そう言わなかったということは加勢など無用と、
I mean, if he needed
そう
your
いう
help,
ことではありますまいかな。
would he not have said so? But he didn't, which means he'll be fine on his own, don't you think?
う
What if
け
he
ど
loses?
万一ってことも。
あるとお思いですか？
Do you think he will?
このババめはないと思いますがね。お嬢様はいかがでございます？
I for one think not. What say you, mistress? Is there any chance of that happening?
有馬温泉まで直通の鉄道が開通しました。
A rich gentleman once took pity on an emaciated street urchin and invited him into his home, so the boy could feast to his heart's content.
その心は
Which is to say,
ありません。
that chance.
華麗にスルーでございます。
Let's forget that
凛
happened.
々しいお方、あなた様も同じお気持ちではありません
Now,
か？
brave youth, are you not of the same opinion?
はいはいそうだよ。
Yeah, yeah.
私もそう思ってるよ。あの武者はロクハラの犬侍なんぞには負けないだろうって。
I know he's not gonna lose to some Rokuhara dog. You referred to him as a
く
Musha.
そジジババはほんと食い合わせが悪いや。
How do geezers always gotta bust my chops like this?
まあまあ、お若い方が腐られますな。
Alright.
紅茶でもお入れしましょうか。
Now, you won't be young forever. Take matters in stride while you still can. Shall I put on some tea?
いらねえよ。しかしあんたら、あの人のこと知ってる口ぶりだな。
You two sure seem to know a lot about that guy.
ええ、存じておりますよ。
Yes, we know him.
協力してその犬野郎と戦った間柄です。
We were working together to bring down that jackal, as you put it.
そうだったのか。
Really?
はい、今明かされる衝撃の真実。
Yes, though it may come as a shock to you.
けどあんたら無駄飯ぐらいの GHQ だろ。
Your GHQ, all you do is eat our food and watch us suffer.
たまにはダイエットがてら働くこともありましたよ。まあその辺のお話はみちみちいたしましょうか。
Sometimes I do a bit of
どちら？
work. It's part of my diet, but we can talk about that on the road. Where do you live?
鎌
Kamakura,
倉だ
but
けど。
お乗りなさいな。送って差し上げます
hop。in, we'll take you home.
いや、いいよそんなの。私は村に。
I'm gonna head back to the village.
あの方に協力したいのでしょ？
You wanna help them
な
then,
ら
don't you?
どうぞ。
Then you should come with us.
どういう意味だ？
How's that work?
簡単に言いますと、夜道に迷って難にしていたあなたを助けていたということにすれば、私はもう少し寄り道ができて本部へ戻るのが遅れますの。
Basically, by helping a lost civilian get home, we'll be able to postpone our return to base a little longer.
そしてそれはあの村や影明様を警察の人を助けることにつながるのです。
And that'll be of great help to both the village and to Kageaki, the officer in question.
さっぱりわかんね
I don't follow.
それもみちみちご説明しましょう。
I'll explain along the way, please.
え。わかったよ。嘘はついてねえみたいだし。
Alright.
けど、
You don't sound like you're blowing smoke up my ass, but one condition.
はい。
Yes?
道に迷ったってのはなしだ。怪我でもしていたことにしてくれ。
Don't tell people I was lost. Make it like I was injured or something.
わかりました。
Alright, let's be off.
では参りましょう。
よろしく。
Cool.
おや、お風邪ですか？
Do you have a cold?
いや、そんな覚えはねえ
I
けど。
don't think so. Weird.
なんだ
I
ろう
just
な。
felt a chill all of a sudden.
急に寒気がして。
大間が時と申します。何かよからぬものが背筋を撫でていったのやもしれませんね。
Well, they do call this the witching hour. Perhaps something wicked ran its bony fingers up your spine.
不気味なこと言うなばあさん。似合いすぎだっての。
I don't know, Granny, it sounds too real coming from you. It is surreal.
静かになったな。
Sounds like it's over.
どうなったんだ？わかんねえよ。
How should I know?
おい、誰か見に行ってこい。
Someone, hey, someone, go look.
お前行けよ。
You go.
落ち着けみんな。騒がずに待とう。
Calm
も
down,
う少し
everyone.
すれば
Be
きっ
patient.
と警察の武者様が戻ってこられる。
I'm sure the officer will return any minute now.
戻ってこなかったら？
And if he doesn't,
戻ってくる。
well,
お、どうした？
what is it?
彗星だ。
A shooting star.
彗星？
Shooting star?
本当だ。
You're right.
吉兆だよな。
It's a good sign, right?
強調じゃねえのか？
Sure it's not a bad one?
お前な。
Shut up already.
いや、だってうちのじじいが昔。
Really, my gramp said that.
まあまあ、吉兆だと信じようぜ。
Forget about it. Let's have faith. It's a good sign.
ああ、
銀色。
Silver.
あの彗星。綺麗な銀色。
That star, such a pretty silver. As he rests his battered body on a hard futon, Sarimachi Ichizo considers his good luck. True, he wound up taking a long tumble into a cold river, which isn't what he would call particularly lucky, but for a couple of locals to find him and patch him up afterwards, why, that's a stroke of pure fortune. His only worry now is that the cop or that inspector might find him here, but nothing he can't handle. There's two helpless girls handy. If he can take one hostage before he's grabbed, then escape should not be a problem. The thought of threatening a child's life causes Sorimachi no particular anguish. Not to say he finds it appealing either, though it might not be so bad giving the cop and his friends some payback. Such is the character of Sorimachi Ichizo. He's small-hearted, cowardly, and vile, but he sees no reason to change. As long as he can remember, he made his way at the expense of others, stealing and murdering for a few coins here, a night's sleep there, and to do that alone, he devoted his wit and skill. Things like honor, justice, and loyalty never made sense to him, and he can't see the point. Nothing doing? Sorimachi decided long ago. If the low path is all he understands, then that's the path for him. Let the high-minded take the high road, and more power to them. Therefore, he doesn't balk at the thought of harming the girls who saved him, nor will he hesitate when the time comes. He'll just smile that thin little smile and do what Sorimachi does best. Wickedness is ingrained on his very soul, which is why he's able to think such thoughts through the aches and pains, and why, the moment he hears the front door slide open, he's able to put his plan into motion. He conceals his presence, not difficult when still half asleep, stifles his breath and peers through the shoji screen in the adjoining room, and there he sees it. The hell? Am I dreaming? What is this? And another line gone. Looks like we scorched some other strategy. Fair? Alright. First the elder sister. As she sleeps peacefully, I sever her head with a single stroke.
そうですよね。でも武者の方ですし、六原の人たちより本当のお武家様って感じがしますし。
I guess if you're waffling a whole bunch. Or you say you like the younger one better. Alright, still, you're a Musha, and I think you deserve the title more than any of them do.
やっぱりお武家様です。
Noble samurai it is.
こら、うな。じゃあ、どうぞ。おにぎりしかありませんけど。あ、こっちはお茶です。
I'm gonna be polite. Here you are. I'm afraid it's just onigiri. Have some tea.
これは行き届いたこと。
You're too kind. I'm
ト
sure
キ
you'll
さん
make
は
a
良い
good
花
wife
嫁
one
にな
day.
られます。
あまりおだてるなよ、ミド。ならもらってくれなどと言い出しかねんぞ。
You'll make a good wife one day. Proceeds to decapitate her. Try not to flatter her too much, Mito. I might have to ask you to take her off my hands.
じっちゃま。
In the space of a heartbeat, her life has fled. I doubt she felt so much as a pinprick. What difference does that make? Well, it doesn't change the fact I stole her future. Death is death, murder is murder, and there's no palliation for violence. Next. I turn to look at the second futon, at the smaller but no less tranquil shape lying there. Shifting my sword into a reverse grip, I position the tip above her heart.
鎌倉はもっとすごい？
So Kamakura is even bigger?
人が大勢います。
The streets are full of people.
どのくらい？
How many?
この村の倍の10倍の
More
100
than
倍ほど。
100 villages.
すごいね。
Oh. Crimson flowers bloom and scatter, a second spray to paint the floor. Where before there was warmth and love, now there's only death. Yagenta is gone, and now his granddaughters have followed him, sent to an early grave by the very man they saved.
ミド、酒はいける口かな。
Do you drink, Mito?
それは
As much
一
as
応
the next person?
人並み程度には。
では、今宵は一本組み交わそう。思えば、ミドと出会ってからは世話しないこと続きで、そんな暇もなかったが。
And tonight we drink. With all that's happened, we haven't had a chance to just sit down with the bottle.
年寄りにとって、若い者との酒は何よりの薬。だというに、うちの孫は二人とも娘。しかもまだ子供とあってはどうにもならぬ。
Nothing's more gratifying for an old man.
得難い機会よ。
Oh, he's still going. He's still going.
付き合ってもらえぬか。
I should just go get a drink. Is this guy still going? Okay, I think that's long enough that he's not just pausing his dialogue, he's actually done. Nothing's more gratifying for an old man than to share sake with the young, but my grandchildren are both girls and not yet of an age to enjoy the taste. We read this like 5 minutes ago. This is a rare opportunity, Mido. Will you join me? Tonight we drink. Tonight we drink.
ミド、
Mido.
大丈夫だ。俺は狂ってなどいない。
No need for concern. I'm still sane.
狂
Still
って
sane.
などいない。狂いなどしない。そんなところには逃げない。
I won't let madness take me. I don't have that right.
そう。
I see.
でも、
But that's
違
not
う。
what I wanted to say.
ミド、
You haven't finished. The younger girl, Funa, is awake.
見当を誤ったよね。姉と同じように首を跳ねていればよかったのよ。
You should have beheaded her like you did her sister.
顔を直視したくなかったんでしょ。そのおかげで、あの子は苦しんでいる。
I suppose you didn't want to look her in the face, but because of that, she's suffering.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Fuki, it hurts. Fuki, Grandpa. Why are we killing them? Because that's what he does. Did you miss that part? Where he just like randomly decapitated the kid at the end of the first chapter? That's how Kageaki rolls, my dude.
早くしなさい。
Ended. He's feeling guilty because he didn't decapitate them. Desperate to silence her pitiful moans, I raised my blade overhead and set my sights on her face. This time I'll finish it with one. Mister. Help me, mister. Please. Please. Confirmed. Let's go, Mito.
帰りましょう。
I like how the mafia guy is in the room right next to them, and they're just like, nah, he's not worth killing.
泣いているの？
Are you crying? The white-haired Yakuza guy is like right beside him watching this, and he's just like, I don't care. Me?
No.
Cry?
泣く
Why
と
would I cry?
なんてかわいそうなことをしたんだと。俺は嫌々
How could
な
I
が
have
ら
done
や
such
っ
a
たの
thing?
だと。
I didn't want to. I had no choice. I mean, look at these tears.
本当はこんなことをしたくなかったのだと。
Look at these tears. I'm good at heart.
そう言え
Is
た
that what you want me to say? I mean, you could at least finish the job and kill the Yakuza guy that's like 2 feet away from you.
ふざけるなよ。
Do you take me for a fool, Muramasa?
本当に善良なら最初から人を殺したりはしないのだ。殺しておいてから流す涙など最も醜悪な偽善に過ぎん。
She has active radar and and infrared vision. And the guy's in the same building. Same room even, because this is like an old school Japanese house that's fucking tiny. The guy is probably like, the guy is literally behind a curtain. A curtain. If I were truly good, I wouldn't have killed him in the first place. To take a life then cry about it's the foulest hypocrisy of all.
人を殺すことは悪行であり、悪行をなす者は悪鬼なのだ。俺は悪鬼なのだ。
And those who do evil are demons. I'm a demon.
俺は悪鬼なのだ。
I'm a demon. I'll say it one more time.
あなたは何も考えなくていい。
Leave everything to me.
あなたはただの手足。この村正の手足よ。
You're just my puppet, an extension of Muramasa.
手足が物を考える必要なんてない。ただ、使われていなさい。
A puppet need not think, he need only be used.
すべてが終わったら解放してあげる。その時まで。
When everything is over, I'll
心
release
を
you.
閉ざして
Until then, let your heart be stone. At least be thorough.
何も考えず、何も感じずに、その時を待ちなさい。
Think nothing, feel nothing, and wait for the nightmare to end.
ごたくは終わりか。
Are you through prattling, Tsurugi?
貴様が俺の主だというのなら、
If you're my master, then
一
answer me
つ
this.
だけ聞いて。
Why?
なぜだ。
Why?
以前にも聞いた覚えがあ
I
るか
remember
も
you
ね。
asked me once before.
答えはかつてと変わらない。私は兵器。 己を形作る理念を全うするだ
The
け。
answer hasn't changed. I'm a weapon. I embody the principle by which I was made.
理念
Principle.
鬼に会うては鬼を切る。
If there are
仏
demons,
に
I
会う
slay
ては
them.
仏を切る。
Where there are saints, I slay them.
他の理由なんて私にはない。
There's no other answer,
私
for
は
I am
人で
not
はない
human.
のだから。剣なのだから。
I'm a Tsurugi.
心を閉ざすことさえ辛いのなら、ひたすらに私を憎みなさい。
You can't turn your heart to stone. Hate me instead, with
そ
all
の
your
資格
being.
がある。あなたの人生を呪った刃を。心の底から憎む権利がある。
I'm the blade that ruined your life. You have every right to hate me.
そんなものはない。
I have no such right.
己は兵器に過ぎぬと言ったな。剣。
Call yourself a weapon?
ま
Nothing
さ
else
し
could
く
be
し
more.
かり。
Nothing could be more true.
貴様はただの兵器。ただの道具。道具に罪などない。道具は罪など背負えない。
You're a weapon, a tool. A tool carries no guilt. A tool cannot take responsibility for the sins committed with it.
道具を使う義務も、権利も、責任も、罪過も、すべて俺一人のものだ。
As I said before, the duty, authority, and responsibility are mine. You have nothing, nothing, only an imbecile. Oh, he's still going?
奴隷に責任を押し付ける主人など
He
おらん。
stopped for like 3 sentences. Alright. I think he's done. Only an imbecile would blame a tool for how it's used. He's done, right?
ミド、
Mito?
罪は道具を使う者に。ならば、憎むべきも、そのものだけだ。
Only he who wielded the blade is guilty. He alone is deserving of hate. They gonna kill this guy or not?
夢だよな。
This is a dream, right?
ひでえ夢。
Hell of a dream.
けど、
But
こいつがもし夢じゃなかったら、
if it's not a dream,
夢じゃ
if it's not a
な
dream,
かったなら。
I walk the road leading back to the village. The mayor needs to hear my report. He left the guy alive. What a waste. All right. We need to maximize our edge. We'll go to their house where the mafia. We'll go to our house where the Yakuza guy is and be like, Yakuza guy, you're cool. I'll leave you alive. I'm gonna go kill some kids. It's kind of nonsensical. At least be thorough and kill everyone there. That guy also knows your real identity and actively worked against you. Like he could just be working directly for Ginsego and you didn't even question it. The guy knew way too much and you just let him walk off. Alright. Sure. I guess he's kind of like iffy on the murdering people who work with. Maybe he just wants his sword more than he wants fucking anything. I was thinking he was like hunting Ginsego because he like wants to kill them or stop whatever their plan is, but like that guy was clearly working with Ginsego and he just like walked off on him twice now. He's just like, I'll not kill this guy. I'll not kill this guy and I'll go out of my way to kill some other people. Alright. No doubt he'll rejoice and the village will soon regain the peace it knew before the prefect came. Aren't we gonna kill the mayor who knows who we are? Or do we trust the mayor? The villagers will return to their quiet lives and slowly forget all this happened. Everything will be just as it was, except for the absence of one kind, gentle Imishi family. Nonsensical, are you forgetting our Lord and Savior Anakin Skywalker? What about him? A peaceful, blessed village, forever lacking one crucial piece to make it whole.
ミド、
Mido?
ミド、
Mido? Silent, I have nothing to say to
ミ
you.
ド、村だ。
Mido the village. What? The buildings are aflame, the streets are heaped with corpses. The village is no more. No. I searched the bodies sprawled on the ground. Someone. There has to be someone.
村長
There. The village. Why?
マジ
Why?
ラガ
何があった
What happened? Tell me.
何があったのだ
A star.
星が
A star?
銀色の星
Yiniro Hoshi. A silver star. The village's story has ended. The prefect dead, Imishi dead, the villagers dead. Nothing remains. Only dust and ash.
カカ様
Mother?
光る
Karu?
光る
Karu. Mission accomplished. Except for the part where you left the Yakuza guy alive. What the fuck were you thinking, buddy? At least kill the Yakuza guy. Come on, man. Be thorough. Whatever. Alright. I don't know what he's so tilted about. Like, he was gonna go kill the mayor anyway. He's probably gonna axe the mayor anyway. Who cares? A bunch of no-name people died, including the person he was planning to kill, and he's like, damn you, Ginseigo, for killing people before I can.
自ら旗本衆を率いて撃って出たため、我が方はこれを迎撃。
Alright. After rejecting our demands for surrender, Okabe Yoritsuna led his personal guard in a final attempt to break the siege.
猪苗代湖上空で激しい戦闘となったものの、2時間後には敵機をほぼ殲滅、制空権の掌握に成功しました。
Battle was joined over Lake
ほぼ同時に地上の反乱部隊が降伏を宣言。
Despite fierce resistance, we established air superiority within 2 hours. Rebel ground troops surrendered shortly thereafter. Governor of Sasagawa, General Otori Shishiku. Okay.
首謀者岡部頼綱は討ち死に、嫡男十兵衛頼義は館に火を放って切腹。大村源信、高野喜三郎も討ち死にを遂げ、岡部の実子六葉丸は逃走中を捕殺。
Okay, so Okabe Yoritsuna was killed in battle. His heir, Jubei, set fire to the manor before committing seppuku. Omura Genshin and Takano Kisaburo were also slain in combat, and Okabe's second son, Rokyomaru, was apprehended and executed.
その他、主だった者どもはすべて戦死、捕獲、投降、いずれかの命運をたどっております。岡部一党は壊滅したと断定してよろしい。
I believe it appropriate to consider Okabe's faction defeated. Shogun Ashikaga Moriyuchi.
反乱に加担し、物資や兵員を提供した町村がいくつかあったはずだな。
And one of the villages that aided the rebellion?
常の通りに。住民はすべて処刑、家屋は根こそぎ焼き払い、何も残らぬ荒れ地といたしました。
As per your standing orders, we executed all residents and burned their homes to the ground. Nothing remains but blackened soil. Okay.
よろしい。
You've done well.
大義であった。
は。
Thank you, my lord.
頼綱め。長年世に対して公然と免従腹背の姿勢を見せてきよった憎いやつだが、こうして生首になった姿と対面してみると妙な考えがある。
That old fox. For years he feigned loyalty while plotting my overthrow. He was my bitterest enemy, but now that I gaze upon his severed head, I find my thoughts taking an unexpected turn.
こやつの毒舌をもう聞けぬと思うとな。不思議なほど寂しさを感じてならん。思えば奴の毒、あれはあれでなかなか一興であった。
When I think I'll never again be subjected to one of his upbraidings, I can't help but feel a certain emptiness. In retrospect, his sharp tongue was entertaining in its own way.
殿も勝手なことを申される。
My lord is as fickle as ever. So do these guys just like tell Ginseigo to go nuke the city? Or go nuke the village? I guess so. And that might be the implication they're trying to give us here, whether or not it's true. I don't know. Governor of Koga, General Yusa Doshin.
先日まではことあるたび岡部の首を持ってまいれ。奴の首を犬に食わせてやるまでは眠ることもできぬと返す返すおっしゃられていたに。
Ever since the rebellion
それがし
began, it's been
耳にタコができ
bring
ま
me
したぞ。
Okabe's head and I'll feed it to the dogs. I heard those words so often I feared my ears would fall off.
それがいざ死んでみればこのおっしゃりよ
Now
う。
that he's dead,
いやはや
This?
困ったお方
how
じ
are
ゃ。
we to please you, Lord?
そう言ってくれるな同心坊。よとて分かっておる。目の上のコブが取れ、心持ちに余裕ができたればこそそんな思いも浮かぶのだ。
Don't chide me so,
かつて
Reverend.
は考えもせなんだこと。
I'm simply able to indulge in a bit of fond reminiscence now that he's no longer a thorn in my side. Never once did I look kindly upon him before. I'm just looking at this guy's outfit and thinking, man, this guy has like, his outfit is literally coming apart at the seams. He needs to fix that shit.
生きておれば死を望み、死に果てれば生を望む。
He's some sort of nobility in the country, and his outfit is
人の
literally
心
falling
の働
apart.
きというのは本当に勝手なものよ。
While
ど
our
こまで
enemies
も
live, we
満
seek
足
their
せぬ
death.
ようにできておる。
Once they're dead, we wish they lived. I don't need a monk to point out my folly. The hearts of men are indeed fickle, never satisfied with what they have.
であればこそ人は満足を求めてあがき自らを高めるのでござる。満ち足りた人間は牧石も同然。悟りの境地ではござるが世の役には立ち申さぬ。
It is that very struggle to find fulfillment that leads us to better ourselves. A man who desires nothing may have reached enlightenment, but he's no more used to the world than a tree or a
殿
stone.
がかような生き仏になってはお国の大地。いや勝手な言い草大いに結構。殿におかれてはどうか今後とも自ままになさってくださりませい。
Should my lord ever achieve such Buddhahood, it would be a disaster for the nation. Please continue being your fickle self. You have a duty to remain selfish to the end. But what is his long-term goal? Clearly, we're supposed to get a hint at it, right? That's presumably what this scene is, right? Not just random, irrelevant dialogue telling us that, like, maybe the guy supporting Muramasa's pilot is dead. That would be like the most... It's either telling us that, or it's giving us a hint as to this guy's plan, or the reach of his ambitions.
どういう説法だ。
What kind of sermon is that?
かなわんな、同心坊には。
As always, Reverend.
まあ何にいたしましても。
In any case, Governor Hoyomi, General Imgawa Raicho. Alright.
これで関東近隣から反幕府勢力はほぼ一掃されたと言えましょう。まずはおめでとうございます、お父様。
With Okabe's death, all the major rebel factions near Kanto have been eliminated. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you, Father.
うん。そちもご苦労であった。
Accepted. You too have done well.
もったいないお言葉。こたびの乱ではあまり大した貢献もできませなんだのに。
Oh, don't praise me so. My contributions to this campaign were hardly deserving.
本当にな。貴様の担当したラインからの補給はついに一度も前線まで届かなかった。
Why, I couldn't agree more. Not one shipment of supplies ever reached us from your line.
あれは仕方ないのよ。倒幕派のゲリラに鉄道を爆破されちゃったんだから。あいつらこないだ散々叩いたからもう大丈夫だと思っていたのに。
That wasn't my fault. How could I have known rebels would blow up the railroad? I thought they finally learned their lesson after the last purge.
バカか。その手の輩はいくらでも湧いてくる。もう大丈夫などということはない。
Are you really that stupid? Vermin always come back for more. You shouldn't have relaxed your guard.
当然の警戒を怠った貴様の責任は重大だ。
Negligence carries a heavy price.
腹を切れとまでは言わんが、そのケバケバしい頭を丸めてみるのはどうだ、ライチョウ。
This guy is in a
貴様のその
conflict with
目に
rebels.
刺さるような見苦しさは
And he
耐え
didn't
が
think
たいとかねがね思っていたところだ。
this guy thinks he's in an engagement with rebels, but he didn't consider to protect the rail lines or that they would be severed at some point. Alright then, I won't ask you to slit your belly, but I think you could at least shave off that ridiculous hair of yours. The sight of it grates on my nerves.
あんた喧嘩売ってんの？このマロのビビしい姿が見苦しいですって。許せないわ。また物上がりのくせにただで済むとは思ってないでしょうね。
You dare find fault with me? The pulchritudinous Raicho? I won't forgive this insult, you jumped up errand boy. But you did fuck up.
ただで済ませてくれなくともよい。貴様なら別段。高い出費を覚悟する必要は
Don't
な
twirl
さ
like
そう
here.
だ。
I doubt crossing you will cost me much.
いつでも構わん。一戦交えるのが望みなら、かかってくるがいい。
I'm ready and willing. Anytime you want to settle this like men. I don't know. Does Raicho seem like the guy who wants to do that, or the guy who wants to, get the Shogun to execute him for something trivial? What? Or like poison him or something.
まあまあライチョウ殿、まずは落ち着いて
I know, right,
お座りなされ。
No need to get worked up. Please take your seat.
でも同心様、今のお聞きになったでしょう。足利家直系のマロに対して暴言の数々。これはもう反逆よ。今すぐ打ち首に。
Or did you hear he insulted a direct descendant of the Ashikaga line? This is treason. I'll have it.
静まれ。
Be still. Just wait. This guy is gonna be a genius. This guy is gonna be the next shogun. He's gonna be amazing.
お父様。
そちに働きがないとは世は考えておらん。だがこたびの戦、孔一党は自ら守兵を率いて乱を鎮圧した志士区。多少の方言は重要せよ。
I, for one, do not make light of your accomplishments. However, the prize of honor in this campaign goes to Shishiku, who personally led his men to quash the rebellion. You can tolerate a few insults.
さもなくば、そちの器量が問われよう。
Or do you wish to be seen as petty? No, father.
志士区、そなたも控えよ。すべて世への忠義から出た言葉であることは分かっておるが、はためにはおごりとも映る。
That's enough from you as well, Shishiku. I know you speak so out of loyalty to me, but others may think of it as a sign of undue pride.
それではそなたの損になろう。
It will only earn you needless suspicion.
は、心いたします。
As you say, your grace.
まあ若い者はこれくらい元気な方がよろしい。角突き合わせるのも結構。立場上いつも仲裁役に回らねばならぬ殿にはなかなかご難儀なことでござるが。
Vigor is the province of youth, after all. A few squabbles now and then build character. I'm more worried about you, your grace. Always forced to play mediator. You'll be grey before long at this rate. I'm just thinking, none of these people have helmets. They're wearing armor, but no helmets.
つーか
You ask me? General Ashikaga Chachamaru. Alright.
わりかし嫌な方向で個性ありすぎな一家をまとめる苦労人パパって感じだよな。いや、ほんまそうか。おじじもほんと大変だね。
It's like he's a single dad trying to wrangle a bunch of unruly kids. Let Gramps have a break once in a while, why don't you?
あんたが言わないでよ。お父様にいつも一番迷惑かけてるのはどう考えたってあんたでしょうが。
Look who's talking. You're the one who always makes the most trouble.
ああ、当てなんかした？
Did I do something?
何もしとらんな。来庁以上に。貴様、とうとう最後まで兵も武士もよこす素振りさえ見せなかったが、一体どういうつもりだ？
No, nothing. Even less than Raicho. Throughout this entire campaign, you didn't so much as attempt to send support to our line. How do you explain this failure?
どうもこうも、当ての本陣がどこだか知ってんだろ？伊豆半島から関東を中央突破して会津まで遅れっていうの？無茶言えよな。
Well, do you know where I'm? You know where I'm based. Do you expect me to haul supplies from Izu all the way across Kanto to Aizu? Cut me some slack, please.
鉄道はダメ。空路も海路も荒れててダメってな状況で輸送ができるわけねえし。 文句ならそこの提灯あんこうと台風15号に言っとけ。当てに言うな、当てに。
The railroad was out of commission, and the sea and air routes weren't doing so hot either. You want to blame someone? Blame this football fish over here and Typhoon 15, not me.
誰が提灯あんこよ。
Who are you calling a football
貴
fish?
様だ。
You, obviously.
それでもどうにかして送るのが六原にあって一軍を預かる者の義務であるくらい言わずとも分かろう、チャチャ丸。実際、同心殿は車両運送で届けてきた。
As a general in our glorious dragon army, you have a duty to accomplish the mission no matter the obstacles. Look at Reverend Doshin. He sent supplies by caravan all the way from Koga.
当てにもそうしろって。やだよ、かったり。
That's what I should have done. Give me a break.
いいじゃん。あっさり肩ついたんだしさ。結果オーライってことで、ここは一つ。
You won, right? Come on, that's all's well that ends well, right? He won in 2 hours? Against a rebellion. Achieving immediate air supremacy and wiping them out in less than 2 hours. Why the fuck did you need to mobilize anything else? He's whining about supplies and I'm like, it took him 2 hours to win. What? 2 hours? Like, the train doesn't cross the country in 2 hours.
貴様。
なあ、もう怒るな、暑苦しいから。だいたいシシクさ、当てだって何にもやんなかったわけじゃないよ。
Just sitting on my ass.
嘘をつけ。前線でも平坦でも貢献しなかった貴様が何をしたというのだ。
A bald-faced lie. You didn't serve at the front or the rear. How did you contribute?
宣伝工作。
Public relations. Isn't she Rokuhara? They have like a what? They're like a 1 out of 10 when it comes to public relations. Good luck, lady.
はあ、
PR?
何よそれ。
大和南北新聞に社説を掲載してもらったの。わてが書いたやつを社員の名前で。いやさ、あんまり世間の反感買うのもあれだし、今回の件についてちょっと要望ね。
I had the Yamato Nanboku Times print an editorial I wrote under the name of one of their writers, of course. I thought we should present our position, you know, to avoid stirring up too much dissent.
おお、チャチャ丸殿、それはどのような。
And what did you write, pray tell?
こんなような。
Check it out. A friendly massacre. Inawashiro Aizu. The rebellion of Okabe Yoritsuna ended today with the execution of all family members and vassals. Though this was a necessary punishment for the one who betrayed his nation and his countrymen, when I think of the many people who suffered in this terrible struggle, my heart grows heavy. I know that public opinion has been turning against Rokuhara of late, that anger and frustration may seem justified, but I beg of our readers to stop and think. Is there anything to be gained by hitting our nation? Should we not instead ask ourselves why the shogun, our stalwart protector, was forced to take such drastic measures? Should we not make an effort to sacrifice for the common good in order that we may build a new peace and never again see a repeat of these terrible events? If we can manage this, then the death of the Okabe's faction will go down in history not as a tragedy, but as the friendly massacre that at last bound government and governed together and ushered in a new era of security and prosperity. I believe this is the duty of we who are left behind, and that only in so doing can we honor the noble sacrifice of Okabe and his followers. Is anyone gonna buy that?
どうよ、この巧妙極まる論点のずらしっぷり。
Isn't it awesome how I turned the whole thing on its head?
どこがだ?
Are you mad?
喧嘩売ってるようにしか見えんわ。
You're trying to enrage the masses.
そんなことねえよ、フ
Oh
ル。
wait, check it out.
受けてるし。
I got the laugh.
どうしんどろ
Reference?
っていうか関係ないでしょ。あんた受け取るためにこれ書いたわけ？
Are you saying you meant this as comedy?
力だけの政治はもう終わった。これからはエンターテイメントの時代だ。
The age of might makes right is over. From now on, we rule with entertainment. But who? Okay.
意味わかんないんだけど。
You're making no sense. I agree with this guy.
宣言撤回す
Don't
る。
you?
貴様はやはり何もするな。金輪際何もするな。
I take
で
it
き
back.
れば呼吸もする
Keep
な。
doing nothing.
脈
Do
拍も
absolutely
止めろ。
nothing. Don't even breathe. Friendly reminder: they got given the government by the world government by GHQ. Actually having competence was not required.
おじいじ、大人げない連中がいじめる。
Perhaps they're being mean to me. Oh, no
まあ
matter.
よい。
I feel sorry for the serious guy who's not related to the Rokuhara. He's sort of trying to... He's playing the straight man to a family of morons, we'll say. A family of powerful morons, we'll say.
お言葉ですが殿下、全然よくありません。幕府の威信にも関わります。
If I may object, my lord, this is far from no matter. The shogun's reputation is at
とりあえ
stake.
ずこのノータリンは火星へ島流しにして新聞は回収させましょう、お父様。
Ship the idiot off to Mars and have the newspapers recalled.
よい。
No
シ
need.
シク、ライチョ。
Raicho?
チャチャ丸のすることにあまり目くじらを立てるな。
Don't let every little thing Chachamaru does upset you.
仰せとあらば。
Wish?
立てるな。
Tell him.
黙れ。
Shut your mouth.
死になさいよ、あんた。
Seriously, drop dead.
おじじ、こいつら命令違反だから殺してもいい？
Grimes, can we execute these two for disobeying orders?
まあまあ。さて、景気の良い話の後で恐縮なのでござる
Settle
が、
down. Now then, I hate
一
to
つ
ruin the
景
mood,
気の良くない報告を
but I
させ
have
てい
some
ただい
rather
てもよろしいござ
unsavory
る
news
か
to share.
ん？
クラゲが大量発生出ました？
A swarm of jellyfish
い
attacking.
やいや、先頃、それがしの管区で発生した一村全滅事件の調査報告が上がってきました
No, not
が、
that. You remember the village that was destroyed in my district? I just received word from the team sent to investigate about that.
景気が良くないってことは予想通りってことですよね。
You call
同
it
心様。
unsavory. Does that mean it's as we expected?
見ようによっては、これほど景気の良い話もなかなかござらんがな。生
I
存
suppose it
者
might as
は
well serve
皆
as
無、
black comedy.
きれいさっぱり皆殺し、
Should you choose to see it
老
that way?
若男女一切問わず、
No
物言わ
survivors,
ぬムクロとなり
dead
に
to the
消え
last. Every man, woman, and child.
事件の異様なまでの特殊性は、銀星号の出現を示しているとみてまず間違いなかろう。
Given the massacre's distinctive characteristics, the team is confident this was the work of Ginsego. I mean, I guess so. I don't know what the distinctive characteristics are supposed to be. They described it as no survivors, dead to the last, every man, woman, and child. But that's literally what they did 5 minutes ago, and we're just reporting on doing, yeah? I mean, I guess it's because they didn't order it. They're like, well, the only person who does this is Ginsago. But it's kind of funny they called it, they're like, distinctive characteristics, and I'm like, isn't that literally exactly what you just did? But alright.
金星号。
Ginsago.
これで何件目なのよ。
How many does this make?
目撃情報は
Witnesses?
これもまた例によって、
I'm afraid that pattern too remains unbroken.
なし。
None then.
信頼のおける者は、銀の流星を見たという者も付近住民、通行者らの中に幾人かおり申すが、
At least none that
さ
can
て
be
どこまで
trusted.
が本当でどこからが後付け
So the pattern remains unbroken. No witnesses.
の妄言やら。
Nearby villages have reported seeing a silver star in the sky, but it's impossible to know which reports are true and which are the product of overactive imaginations.
何にしろ殺戮現場をはっきり見たやつはいないっつうことだ
So
ね。
basically, no one saw the actual massacre happen.
そういうことだの。
It appears to be the case.
なんという馬鹿げた話だ。
別に馬鹿げちゃいねえだろ。見たやつは全員死に
Everybody
まし
saw
たっ
anything
てだけの
sad?
話だ。
Simple. I mean, we can say that Muramasa did it. After all, there is a survivor, and the Yakuza guy might have an idea. He also works with GHQ, right? Maybe that's why Kageaki didn't want to kill him?
それのどこが馬鹿げていない。
だ
Right,
よ
totally
ね
not.
バカくせ
笑ってる場合かっての。
え。いやもう笑うしかねえしさ。
What else
誰
can
だ
you
って
do?
そう
Think
だと
about
思
it.
うよ。もう関東中に広まってる武者の一個中隊が銀星号に全滅させられたっつうあの噂。市民の間じゃ信憑性は半信半疑ってあたりで落ち着いてるけど。
All of Kanto has heard the rumor of Ginsego wiping out a company of dragoons. People still can't decide whether to believe it.
あれが実は嘘で
What do you think they'd do if they found out it was a lie?
本当は一個中隊じゃなくて一個大隊ですなんてことを知ったらさ、笑う以外に何ができるっつうの？
That it was really an entire battalion we lost? Laughed their asses off, that's what.
確かにな。50機からの武者がただ一気に応殺されるか。古代の神話か。 でなければ狂人の妄想にしかありえぬような話だ。
50 dragoons slain by a single musha. It's the sort of thing that only happens in myth or in the dreams of a lunatic.
カラクニの伝説に歌われる高覇王も格やというところだの。いやはや、なんだってそのような代物が現世に出てまいったやら。
Hey, it said that Zhang Yu, hegemon king of Karakuni, was capable of such feats. Truly, one wonders what brought such a legend into our time. It's just Zhang Yu, no big deal.
あれは何者なのよ一体。
What in the world is Ginsego?
それは終末であり死滅であり怪人も残さぬ消失である。汝触れるなかれ見るなかれ死に絶えることを望まぬならば。
The end shall come from the sky, destruction its name, and all who stand before it shall be dust and ash. Face not the doombringer, nor look upon its visage, lest your life be extinguished as a candle in the wind. You know, if these guys actually wanted good PR, all they'd have to do is, like, just copy, like, what China's doing, right? Just rule effectively, and people, rule effectively and raise this quality of life, and people will completely ignore how brutal you are. Right? You can rule with an iron fist. Have your every whim cared for. Leech all the money you want as long as you're successful. Oh well. Oh, these guys don't really need to do that though because they already have supreme executive authority and military might granted by GHQ, so I guess that works. Though I gotta question whether GHQ is intelligent in the slightest, as I can't imagine any of the other territories under the control are managed anywhere near as well either. If this is how they manage their conquered territories, pretty sad. Oh well, such is life.
何よそれ。
That's supposed to be.
マタイの福音書別記折り来たる魔王の一節。
It's from an addendum to the Gospel of Matthew about the end of days. Oh.
嘘だけど。
Except it's not.
嘘かよ
You made it up? Yeah.
信じてましたよこの人。いるんだよなこういうやつ。なんか適当にそれっぽいこと言うとあっさり鵜呑みにしちまいやがんの。でよそで吹聴して大恥かく。
You guys, and you believed it. Guys like you swallow any bullshit if it tastes right. Then you try feeding it to someone else and make an even bigger ass of yourself.
殺すわ。
まあまあ。
Oh no.
殿下、やはりこれは由々しき事態。現在の対策班では足りませぬ。規模を拡大し、我々のうちの1名を責任者に当て、本腰を入れた対応を行うべきかと存じます。
The forces we've assigned to Ginsego are no longer enough. I submit that the scale of the search be expanded, and that one of us be appointed to lead it. It's time we settle this once and for all.
さらっと無視してるけど、あいつもきっと一瞬信じたんだぜ。よかったね、ライチョウ。仲
Yeah,
間
we
がい
changed
て。
the topic. I bet he believed it too. You're not alone, Raicho.
バカはしかと。
Ignoring you.
同心坊、シシクの進言やいかに。
Reverend, what do you say to Shishiku's proposal?
さて、やがて必要となる措置であることは否めませぬ
I
が。
don't deny that such measures may be necessary eventually.
時期尚早と言われるか。
Think it too
さ
soon?
よう。幕府が得体の知れぬ強族を相手にそこまでの力を注ぐ。ということが、おそらく現段階では。
Indeed, if the shogunate's seen to expend such resources on hunting down a single marauder,
火種を煽るか。民衆の中の反幕分子、それに GHQ。
it will encourage the anti-shogunate factions, not to mention GHQ.
内外の敵に付け入る隙を与えることになる。それは私とて懸念せぬではありませんが、銀星号は黙殺するにはあまりに大きな最悪。
I'm not
多少の犠
unmindful of
牲
the
は払って
dangers.
潰しておくべきでは。
Ginsego is far too destructive to ignore. Should we not eliminate it now, whatever it takes?
どちらを先に片付けるのかという問題になるかな。敵勢力か、それとも最悪か。しか
The
し、
question
シ
of
シ
which we
ク
deal
も
with first.
銀星号の被害を被っておるのは我らに限らぬことを
Our
忘れて
enemies
は
or
なら
this
ない。
creature. I would remind you, Shichiku, that we are not the only ones who have fallen victim to Ginsego's predations.
六原の主敵、 進駐軍も少なからぬ損害を受けておる。そこを考えると、今我らのみが矢面に立って厄介ごとの始末に乗り出すのは、いささか割に合わぬ話と言えぬかな。
Our greatest enemy, GHQ, has also suffered significant losses. Taking that into consideration, it seems a profitless enterprise for us alone to expend our strength against it.
なるほど。
I see. A good plan. Why do anything when you can wait for GHQ to do something because it's hurting GHQ?
でも同心様、GHQ の手にも負えない銀星号を六原の手で叩き潰せば、幕府こそが大和を統治する力を持つというまたとないアピールになります。
But Reverend, if we defeat an enemy even GHQ can't, it proves once and for all that only Rokuhara is worthy of uniting Yamato.
しかし、それはそれでまた難しゅうござる。効果が薄ければくたびれ儲け、大きければ大きかったで、進駐軍の尻に火をつける結果となります。It's a dangerous
gamble. Even assuming we failed Ginsego, it would be a waste of resources if the nation fails to acknowledge our efforts. On the other hand, if it works too well, it could provoke GHQ into action.
大和完全支配の機を伺う者どもは、我らの支配力強化を決して看過しますまい。銀星号対策で疲弊したところに GHQ の大軍を迎える。それはちとゾッとしませんな。
They desire total dominion over Yamato and won't sit idle while we strengthen our rule. If they attack while we're depleted from battling Ginsego, I shudder at the thought.
よろしい。同心坊の見解を是とする。銀星号問題に対しては現状の体制で臨む。いずれ対応部署の拡充は行うが、それは世の支配が完全なものとなった後の課題としよう。
How loyal are their forces actually going to be if GHQ attacks and tells them to surrender? Like, we're relieving the Rokuhara of command. Would their soldiers even object? If they came in and said the Rokuhara leadership is incompetent and we're replacing them with better people, what are the odds that they would actually have any trouble taking over anything? Anything other than like the core units of the Rokuhara family's groups. Like, I feel like it would be pretty easy. The populace isn't gonna do anything. They're just gonna be like, oh, you're getting rid of the Rokuhara. Well, I don't quite like you, but here you go, have some free beer or whatever, you know. They're not gonna give you much trouble. I mean, I don't think they like GHQ, but if they came in and were just like, no, get out of here. You guys suck and are making this place shit. If they were able to get that message out, I feel like the population would be a little bit more amenable to replacing the Rokuhara, given how bad their leadership is. That might be GHQ's strategy, right? Put someone incompetent in charge and wait until the population needs help desperately, and then, like, you know, come in, play the hero. Wouldn't that be a good strategy? Wouldn't that be a good longish term strategy? You're like, hey, we let you guys rule yourselves for like 10, 15 years. I know it's only been 6 years since the war ended, but still, let's push ourselves forward. Like, we let you guys rule yourselves for 15 years. It was a colossal fucking disaster. We're gonna unfuck this, and thus direct rule, right? Could be a good long-term strategy. So Reverend Doshin's words indeed hold merit. We'll sustain the measures against Ginsego already in place for the time being. I intend to expand the scale of these efforts eventually, but only after my conquest is complete.
Huh.
What are you conquering, my friend? You were literally given the whole country on a silver platter. Have you still not secured your rule in 6 years? Oh my god, what a mess. What a mess. 6 years and it's still a fucking mess? Oh my goodness. Your will be done.
お父様の仰せのままに。
As you command, father.
不満か、シシク。
You're unsatisfied, Shishiku?
いいえ、決して。ただ言って。
Not at all, my lord. It's just there's
どうも
one thing
気にかかってならぬこと
that
が
weighs
ご
on
ざ
my
います。
mind.
申してみよ。
Speak.
銀星号なるもの。一度たりと関東防空圏のレーダーに捉えられた例がございません。である以上、キャツネは関東の外からやってくるのではないと見るのが妥当。
Insego, whatever it is, has not once been detected by the air defense network, and therefore, it is reasonable to conclude it does not come from outside Kanto.
低空機構でレーダーをごまかしているっていう可能性はないわよね。だったら肉眼で発見されてないとおかしいし。
What if it's flying too low for radar to... No. That doesn't make sense. Someone would have seen it by now.
関東のどっかから出現してどっかへ帰るわけだ。レーダーが関東の外縁だけじゃなくて全域をフォローしてくれてたら話は簡単だったんだけどね。
It sure would help if we could cover the whole area with radar.
それはちと人員と経費が追っつかんの。レーダーそのものを改良して性能の向上を図らぬことにはなかなか。現状では要所要所に配備するので精一杯よ。
That would require a little too much money and manpower, I'm afraid. I doubt we'll ever get full coverage without improving the radar itself. For now, the best we can do is cover most critical zones.
確かに関東全域を綿密に監視するレーダーがあればことは楽に片付いたろう。しかしそんなものがなくても本来ことはすでに決着していなくてはおかしいのだ。
Full radar coverage of Kanto would make finding it simple, however. Even without that, it should have been located by now.
なぜなら武者は目立つ。殿下、
After all, Musha
私
stand
が
out.
どうにも納得いかぬのはその点。
This is what I don't understand, my lord. Indeed.
犯行現場から奴が飛び立つところを見たという報告は過去に数件ございます。しかし着陸現場を目撃されたことは一度たりとありません。これは
Many have witnessed
い
the
かにも
Silver
機関
Star
の
leaving the scene of the crime, but not a single person has seen it landing. It doesn't make sense.
武者が着陸する際に生じる爆音、それに噴煙の軌跡はかなり離れた場所からでも確認ができるはず。
The noise made by a Musha landing can be heard from some distance. Its exhaust plume is just as conspicuous, and yet not one report.
人里離れた山奥に降りているだけじゃないの？
Probably lives in the middle of nowhere or something.
この関東に人里離れた山奥がどの程度ある？無論あることはあるがな。そんな場所はすでに対策班が重点的に調査済みだ。
How much of Kanto do you think qualifies as the middle of nowhere? Yes, such areas exist, but our men have already searched them with a fine-toothed comb.
成果はなし。何の痕跡も発見できていない。
No traces of Musha activity.
同心坊、どう考える？
Your thoughts, Reverend?
わかりませぬな。確かに獅子殿の申しようはごもっとも、いかにも不審。されど、相手は常識外れの怪物。当たり前の物差しで測るべきではないのやもしれず。
Hard to say, Shishiku's doubts are well founded. However, let's not forget that we speak of an enemy who defies all reason. Perhaps we should assume that it does not possess the limitations we're accustomed to?
そうかな。案外単純な話なんじゃない？
I don't know, guys. Aren't we missing the obvious here?
あんたはもう黙ってなさいよ。
Hey.
いや待て。ちゃちゃまる。
No, wait.
言いたいことがあるなら言え。
Finish what you're gonna say.
いいの？
For real?
ああ。
Yeah.
時間の無駄なのに。
You're wasting your
あ
time.
あ、否定できないのが辛い。
Can't argue with that. I mean,
ほんと単純なご意見なんだけど、
it seems way too obvious.
単に銀星号は武者が着陸しててもおかしくない場所に降りてるだけなんじゃないの？
Landing somewhere where it's perfectly normal for Musha to land.
はあ？
木を隠すには森の中っつうか。それなら誰も不思議に思わないやん。
The best place to hide a tree is in the forest and all. No one would think of anything then.
あのな。
Gotcha, Mario.
あんたね、そんな場所、この不堕落城と関東4軍の駐屯基地、つまりはマロたちの久保府くらいしかないでしょうが。
The only places like that are Fudaraku Castle and the district garrisons are home bases.
はよね。
I know, right? I know. Bit of tension. One of you could be it, or you could be working with them. Maybe, unknowingly. Or knowingly. What?
なんだと？
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。あんたはそれじゃまるでこの5人の中の
That makes it sound like one of us is.
ほうほう。
バカバカしい。大体そんな何のために？
Ridiculous. What reason would any of us have to?
ちゃちゃまる。貴様、今の発言は
Kashimaru, do you
何か
have
根
any
拠あっての？
basis for this?
カステラうまい。
This is good Castella.
聞け
Listen to me.
この城か。アテラ四区門の本陣か。さもなけりゃ。
It's landing here or at one of our bases. Otherwise,
やっぱカステラは文明堂に限る。
Bunmado makes the best Castella.
食うか喋るかどちらかにしろ
Eat or talk, choose one.
なら食うけど。
Then I'll eat.
喋れ
Talk!
GHQ なんじゃないの？
What about GHQ?
なるほど。
I see.
横浜の進駐軍総司令部も竜騎兵の出入りは激しゅうござるからの。
GHQ headquarters in Yokohama does get a lot of Musha traffic.
その中に銀星号が紛れ込んでおったとしても、はためには何の違和感もなし。
No one would notice if one more were added to the mix.
つうか GHQ が黒幕だとするなら、そもそもの銀星号は関東内で離着陸してるはずだって前提自体が無意味になっちゃうのかもね。
Well, actually, if GHQ is behind this, then the whole idea that Ginsego is based in Kanto goes out the window.
銀星号事件ってのは実は GHQ の新兵器実験だったり。
And what if the Ginsego massacres are really GHQ just testing some new weapon?
ステルスドラゴかだとすれば銀星号の拠点は洋上だろうな
Stealth
その
armor,
方
for
が隠
example?
匿性が高い
In which case, Ginsego is likely based out at sea. That would make it even easier to hide.
太平洋艦隊から防空圏のレーダーを欺瞞しつつ飛んでくる連盟軍の最新型竜騎兵ってわけね。けど
Southern
チャチャ
Pacific
マル
fleets carrying a new type of dragoon that can pass through our radar net undetected. But wait, Chachamaru.
おい、
Yep.
進駐軍だって銀星号の被害は受けてるじゃない。それはどう説明するのよ。
The Westerns have taken losses too. How do you explain that?
はあ、あんた何をかまととぶってんですか？
I can pretend to be stupid, or are you for real? I mean, come on, right? You guys literally like 5 minutes ago just like purged like a handful of villages? And you're saying that the people who rule over you wouldn't do the same? Yeah, you gotta be a dumbass to think of that. Not think of that one. Come on.
何よ。
What's that supposed to mean?
疑惑をそらすために被害者を装うなんて初歩の初歩の陰謀じゃねえか。アテラだって普通にやるだろその程度。
Playing the victim's the oldest trick in the book. We do that all the time, don't we?
はさすが親兄弟を殺して家督を奪った者は言うことが違う
I suppose that's your professional opinion as someone who murdered her own father and took his place?
てめえが言えた義理かっつうのは。しかもだ、
Like you're any
ブ
different
リテン様
asshole?
は物量には全く困っていらっしゃらない。
Besides, it's not like the Brits are lacking for men.
コッパ兵士の200や300使い捨てにしたって痛くも痒くもくすぐったくもねえだろ。たったそれだけの犠牲で銀兵器の実験と治安の悪化、幕府の統治力の減退を図れる。
Not if they can test a new weapon and destabilize Yamato at the same time. I mean, I get the impression Yamato wasn't stable, was already unstable. So it's not exactly a new change.
奴らにしてみりゃ安すぎて笑いが止まらないくらいのいい買い物なんじゃねえの？
But they're laughing it up over what a good deal they're getting. Wouldn't you be?
そうね。
Suppose you do have a point.
一理ある現段階では所詮
Still just
推測に過ぎ
speculation.
ん
Well, you can investigate each other, or you can investigate GHQ then.
ねえ、もうカステラ食っていい？
Can I get back to my Castella now?
好きにしろ
Off with you. What say you, my lord?
今のチャチャマル殿のお話、明確な根拠は書いておるにしても、なかなか納得できるところが多うござる。もし事実なれば、捨ておいては危険。
Though Chachamaru lacks solid evidence, she does make several compelling arguments. If it is indeed GHQ's doing, then ignoring it could be risky. And also would make you look super incompetent if they're just blatantly murdering villages and you're like, ho ho, everything's fine. How's it going, GHQ? Anything bad happened to Oh, nothing.
いや、方針に変更はない。
No, nothing's changed.
仮に全てが進駐軍の陰謀であるとしても、いいな。そうであればなおのこと。まず第一に対処すべきは GHQ 本体。
Even if GHQ
指
is
先
behind
の動
this,
きにとらわれては対局を見失う。
That only makes it more imperative we crush them utterly. If we focus on the fingers, we'll lose sight of the body.
GHQ という根幹を潰せば枝葉はすぐに枯れ果てよ。
Once we strike off the head, the rest will wither and die.
我らが敵は横浜にあり。
Do not forget our enemy is in
希望はただ
Yokohama.
一つ。
We're driven by a single purpose.
大上位じゃ。
Expel the barbarians.
御意、六原のために。
My lord. For Rokuhara.
信州大和のために。
For the sanctity of Yamato.
お父様の天下のために。
For your conquest.
さすがおじじ。
You go, Graham.
空気読めよ。いつまでカステラ食ってんの。
Stop ruining the mood. Just how much Castella did you buy?
ごちそうさま。
All done. Okay.
で、話は変わるけどさ。
しかも仕切るし。
And now you're taking charge?
うるさいですよ君。場の空気を乱さないようにね。人の話はちゃんと聞け。
Stop being so disruptive. We're trying to have a serious discussion here, and I'm just sitting here wondering what the point of this is. It seems more like an exposition dump than anything. This is a long-ass exposition dump of a scene that we didn't really need. I mean, it sets up what some of the people in distant areas are doing, but we aren't actually directly interacting with them. And it just seems super info dumpy. A serious discussion, you say? Okay. You little...
重要な議題かな。
Is it an important matter?
それほど
Oh,
最近
really?
人ばかし巷で噂になりつつあることがあって
Just a
さ
little rumor that's been going around.
赤い武者の話なんだけど知ってる
Crimson Musha, heard of it?
いや。
No.
銀の次は赤ときたかい。それは一体。
First silver and now crimson. What sort of Musha is this one?
弱きを助け強きをくじく正義を掲げて戦うヒーロー
An honest to goodness hero helps the weak and punishes the strong, all in the name of justice.
はあ
Justice?
ってことらしいよ
At least that's what I heard. Who the fuck is preaching this?
それじゃ全然わからないわよ。そいつが何をしてるわけ？
It's not exact much of an explanation. What is this Musha doing exactly?
だから弱くて正しいやつを助けて強くて悪いやつをどついて回ってるんだろヒーローってのはそういうもんだし
Like I said, he goes around saving good, weak people from strong, bad people. Isn't that what heroes do?
悪いやつって誰よ？
Yeah, but who are the bad people?
あてら六原それと A の工作員ども
Us, of course. Oh, and those GHQ agents.
民衆を害する武者を買って回る武者がいるというのか。
So there's the Musha, hunting Musha who terrorize the people?
そうそうどこからともなく現れて悪い武者をぶっ倒してどこへともなく去っていくんだそうなあくまで噂だけどね
He shows up out of nowhere, kills the bad Musha, and vanishes into the sunset, because... Of course, it's just a rumor.
つうか都市伝説
Like an urban legend.
でしょ。そんな報告は。
Of course it is. There haven't been any reports of...
ないこともない。事故死として処理された竜騎兵の死亡事件の中に
A
は
number of
不
Musha
審な
died
点が
under
多いものもある。
mysterious circumstances.
死闘か。さもなくば銀星号の手にかかったのだろうと一概に片付けられていたが、その赤い武者とやらが
In the
実
absence
在
of
すると
evidence
す
to
れ
the
ば、
contrary, most have been
そちらの
ruled
犠牲者も含まれているか
personal
もしれ
duels
な
or
い。
Kinsego related, but if this Crimson Musha exists, perhaps he's responsible.
あるいは先ほどご報告した例の全滅した村の大官がその英雄殿の刃にかかったやもしれぬ。
Perhaps the prefect of the village I mentioned earlier was also slain by this hero.
あれは銀星号なのでしょ？
Wasn't that Kinsego's
い
doing?
やそれがですなライチョウ殿、村が壊滅する前日のことなのでござるが、
Well, you see, the day before the village was
そ
destroyed,
れがしの古学防府にその大官から連絡がありまして、真紅の剣を狩る所属不明の武者が現れただの。そやつが GHQ の巡察官と組んで反逆行為に及んでいるだ
a
ろう
message
と。
from the prefect reached Koga District Headquarters, something about an unidentified Crimson Musha joining with a GHQ inspector to commit treason. Oh.
だから増援をくれという要請だったのですがな。何分岡部の乱でてんてこまいになっていた折のこと、まともに取り合ういとまもなく無視してしまっており申した。
He asked for reinforcements, but with Okabe's rebellion in full swing, I couldn't be bothered to answer his request.
失礼ながら同心殿。 仮にも反逆を訴える通報に対して、それはいささか手落ちというべきでは。
Pardon, Reverend, but shouldn't a report of treason been handled with a little more diligence?
このまたもの上がり、少しは自分の立場ってものをわきまえて口を聞きなさいよ。
He's like, man, someone committing treason. I got better shit to do than care about this. Hold your tongue. I'll start your own position to chastise any of us.
いやいや、全くその通りで、返す言葉もござらん。それがしも反省することしきり。
Oh, he's absolutely right.
ただ言い訳をしておくなら、聞き流してしまった
I
理
take
由
full
は他にも
responsibility
ござ
for
っ
my
て
failure.
な。
If, however, I might offer a word in my defense, there's another reason I chose to ignore the message.
とは
Which is?
その代官がの、前々から不認知のなんとかいう山に固執して、大昔の古文書によると、ここは宝石がわんさか出る場所だから、ぜひにも開発すべし、と再三上申を繰り返し、
The prefect in question was obsessed with the mountain near the village. After he was assigned, he repeatedly sent mining proposals to Koga, claiming that ancient texts spoke of gold and jewels hidden in its depths.
それが通らんと知ると、とうとう自費で穴を掘り始めよった。なんというか、変物での。無人としては使える男であったのだ
I would never
が。
grant his requests. He actually used his own funds to start digging. A strange fellow, though useful as a warrior.
中央で出世するための点数稼ぎがしたかったのか。
Is he trying to
そ
score
れに
points
して
for,
も全
for
て
a move to Central Command? Surely there's better ways.
さてな、今となっては分かり申さぬ。何にしても、そういう少し変わったやつだということは皆知っておったので、
Well, I can't
古
ask
賀
him
では
now.
誰も報告を真に受けなかったという次
In
第
any
よ
case,。we knew he was a bit off, so neither my aides nor myself took his request seriously.
赤い武者。
A crimson
興
mission.
味深い話ではある
An interesting tale, Reverend.
は、今のところは夢ともうつつとも知れぬ話。気に病むには及びますまい。それに、
My lord, I do not believe we should concern ourselves with matters that may be but fanciful dreams, perhaps.
赤い武
Besides,
者とやらがまこと工作員どもを切って回っているのなら、我ら以上にそやつが鬱陶しくてならぬのは GHQ。連中が始末してくれるでござろう。
okay. If this hero really is killing GHQ agents, he's far more of a nuisance to them than to us. I imagine they'll deal with him sooner or later.
シシク
Shishku?
同心殿に賛同をつかまつります。ただ、このような噂が広まる背景、市民の間の英雄願望の高まりには若干の危惧を覚えないでもありません。
I agree with the Reverend, however, I'm concerned by the possibility that these rumors signal a rise in anti-shogunate sentiment. You don't say. You don't
それだ
say.
け不満が募っておるということだからの。と言って、今の状況では民衆への締め付けを緩めるわけにもいかん
Well,
が。
it does speak to the enmity we've earned. Still, we can't loosen the grip on the people.
しかり、むしろ鎌倉大番らの警察体制を強化、不穏分子の摘発をより徹底していくべきかと存じます。
I submit we order the Kamakura Watch to redouble their efforts. We must find and eliminate all sources of unrest.
その言を良しとする。ライチョウ、速やかに手配せよ。馬屋衆にも命令を下しておけ。
Agreed, right, Joe?
表と裏の両面から制御するのだ。
Make the necessary arrangements at once. In addition, order the Umeyashu to step up their surveillance. This matter calls for covert measures as well.
はい、お父さん。
Father?
かったるおじじそろそろ終わりにしない？
My head's starting to hurt. Can we call it a day, Gramps?
そうだな。他に議題がないようであれば本日の評議はこれまでとするが。
I suppose it's getting late. If no one has anything further, we'll adjourn for the day.
あいやとのしばらく、シシク殿、例の一件につい
Pardon,
て
my
は
lord. Just one more thing. Shishka, about that matter we discussed?
例の一
What matter?
件。
ああ大鳥本家の家督継承についてなんか承認を受けたいことがあるとかなんとか。そういやそんなこと言ってたっけ？
Oh yeah, didn't you want something for something related to the Otori succession?
あれどうしたの？
What happened with that?
その儀は
I would like to address that at a later date.
何よ。あんたがこだわってた本家正当の着手ってのが見つかったんじゃないの？
What?
それとも何？やっぱり気が変わった？花江と結婚して本家を
Didn't
奪
you
う気に
find
な
that
ったわ
legitimate
け？
heir you always wanted, or did you finally change your mind, going to marry Hanae and take the house for yourself after all? Me just sitting here like, my god, this conversation doesn't end. was only joking.
そんな睨まなくたっていいじゃ
Don't
ない
glare at me like that.
機嫌悪いじゃん。なんかよからぬことがあ
You're
った
awfully
ようだ
pissy.
ね。
Did something go wrong? Alright, I think this is the first scene we've run into where I think this scene is altogether far too long. Sometimes it's annoying to have to deal with like the old man speak, because it's like they say one sentence and it takes seemingly 5 minutes. This is a really long exposition dump, character introduction, and I guess like some villain slash antagonist development all rolled into one. But man, is it long. Holy crap. This scene is altogether far too long. Alright, we're still going. Oh, I was only joking. Don't glare at me like that. You're awfully pissy. Did something go wrong? I'm not aware of the details, but if you wish, I'll refrain from inquiry.
不都合とあればあえて問うまい。
Okay.
その件は日を改めて論ずるとしよう。
Let's discuss this matter on another occasion.
ありがたきご差配。痛み入りまする。
Thank you, Your Grace. I'm humbled by your benevolence.
今宵は以上。皆の者、ご苦労であった。
That's all for tonight. Good work, everyone. You're dismissed. My lord.
そうだ、おじじ。時雄は元気してる？
Alright, how's Tokyo doing?
時王ではない、ちゃちゃ丸。殿下のご着尊、時王丸君はすでに元服なさり、四郎国氏を称しておられる。
Show the proper respect, Chachamaru. Our lord's grandson has already come of age and received his adult name. He's no longer known as Tokyo Maru, but as Shiro Kuniuchi.
せめて、四郎様とお呼びせよ。
You should at least address him as Lord Shiro.
いいじゃんかよ、別に。元服しようが切腹しようが、時雄は時雄なんだしさ。
Come on, it's no big deal. Even with his big boy pants on, he'll always be Tokyo to me.
貴様は。
よいよい。シシク。四郎にとってチャチャマルは姉のようなもの。
Let it go, Shishku. Chachamaru is like a sister to Shiro.
年の近い親族はチャチャマルしかおらぬでな。最近あまり会えないと寂しがっておった。よければ顔を出してや
You
ってくれ
think
る
only
のか。
Chachamaru is gonna get attention in the future? Maybe. She is his only relation of similar age after all. He has been wondering when we'd have a chance to see you again. If you have time, would you pay him a visit?
いいよ。本貸してやる約束してたしね。帰る前にちょこっと寄っていきましょう。次の対象料に媚び売っとくのも悪くない。
No problem. I promised to lend him a book anyway. I'll stop by before I leave. Can't hurt to suck up to the next shogun.
あまり甘やかしてくれるなよ。親を早くに亡くした不憫な子ではあるが、立派に育ってもらわねば困るでな。
He had the misfortune to lose his parents early, but still, we must ensure he grows up strong and bold.
はーい。
Okay.
ん？何面白くなさそうな顔してんのさ、ライチョウおじさん。
Oh, what's wrong, Uncle Raicho? You look like someone pissed in your cornflakes. That makes no sense in this context.
別に。
Scene end. I'm grateful that scene's over. Chapter 3, The Avenger. Alright. Did we successfully kill Yakuza guy, or did they just skip that? I feel like they would have written that down if he actually got caught. Life in jail is a constant struggle against boredom. Unlike prisons, which hold sentenced criminals, jails are meant to house those awaiting trial, such as myself, and those sentenced to execution whose punishment is death alone. As such, there's no forced labor programs. In theory, I should be able to request assignment to a work detail, but the Kanto jail has no such system in place, at least that's what the guards told me. We're only allowed 30 minutes of outdoor exercise each day, and the rest of the time we spend quietly inside our cells. Reading and writing are allowed, but with restrictions, it's not possible to occupy an entire day with these activities alone. The only remaining options are to sleep the time away, or if letting your body atrophy does not appeal to you, exercise to the extent that the confines of your 3-meter square cell permit. Of course, any activity that would produce noise is forbidden, as is anything that would require the use of equipment, and don't even think about trying to fashion some sort of makeshift exercise device out of items in your jail cell because the guards are likely to assume you're planning suicide or escape. Striking practice isn't an option either. Guards tend to be high-strung, and even taking a stance can test their nerves. Ultimately, you have little choice but to engage in standard strength training exercises like push-ups, sit-ups, and back extensions. Surely, since this guy is regularly getting extended leave from jail, the guards would be extremely lenient. And possibly let him bring random shit into his cell, because, I mean, he kind of just says, hey, I need to go, and he gets his way out of prison, right? Like, he's done it twice now, just been like, oh, time for me to go, and the guards are like, oh, alright, bye. And then he turns himself in 5 minutes later, like it's a cheap motel. In other words, exactly what I'm doing right now.
未決囚0485
Prisoner 48.
はい
Here.
事情聴取のためお前を一時的に鎌倉署へ移送するとの通達があった
You're gonna be taken
迎
to
えの車
Kamakura.
はもう来ている10分以内に支度をしろ
You're gonna be taken to Kamakura Station for questioning. The car is here. Be dressed and ready in 10 minutes.
わかりました。
Understood.
ところでお
By the
前
way,
何でしょうか。
yes?
今何をしていた
What were you doing just now?
腕立て伏せです。
Push-ups.
そうか
Oh.
腕立て伏せか
Those were push-ups.
はい。
Yes.
お前生まれは
Where are you from?
長崎です。
Nagasaki.
俺は秋田だ
Oh, I'm from Akita.
きりたんぽが美味しいとか。
You hear the Kiritampo? It's
長崎
delicious.
はちゃんぽんだな
You guys make chapon, right?
ええ。
Yep.
俺の故郷では腕立て伏せってな両手と両足を地面につけてやるもんだった
In Akita, we do push-ups with both hands and feet on the ground.
大概はそうでしょう。
I believe that's usually the case.
足を浮かせてやる腕立て伏せっていうのは初めて見た
I think this is the first time I've seen someone do them with their legs in the
自
air.
分も他人がやるのはあまり見た覚えがありません。
I too have rarely seen it done.
苦しくないのか
Isn't it painful?
苦しみもだえます。
Excruciatingly.
そうか
That's a
安心
relief.
したよ
それは幸いです。
We're glad to be of service.
支度をしてくれ
You're ready.
はい。
At once.
つまり間違いはないのだな。
So there's no mistake.
はい。あの村は銀星号が滅ぼしました。
The village was destroyed by Ginsego. I bring the offered teacup to my lips, and the fragrance tells me that this is a new blend from Enshu. Inexpensive judging by the color, but it should prove sufficient for my tastes. I tilt the cup back until the hot liquid just touches my mouth and wet the tip of my tongue.
村正も同様の見解です。というより、ただの一人も逃れ得なかった。
Muramasa is of the
文
same
字通り
opinion,
の
of
全
course.
滅なのです。
As the village was
誤解
utterly
の余地はあ
annihilated
りません。
without a single survivor, I don't see how any other conclusion is possible.
その通りだな。例えば軍事用語で全滅という時、部隊が機能を完全に失うほどの損害を受けた状態を示す。比率にして3割から4割程度。
Agreed. Even in war, an enemy force is considered annihilated once it's suffered too many losses to function effectively. In practice, it means about 40%.
全滅といっても6割は無事に生きている。それが常識というものだ。しかしあれに遭遇した者には、その6割の生存が許されない。
It's to be expected an annihilated force will have 60% of its strength remaining while where Ginsego's involved, we have no choice but to use the word annihilation literally.
あれは戦争ではないので、加害者と被害者との間に戦闘などという生ぬるいお遊戯めいた交渉は
Our
存
actions
在
are
し
not
ま
war,
せん。
Commissioner. War implies combat, but Ginsego does not allow her victims the barest semblance of resistance. She's not so playful as that.
単なる天才です。沿岸の村を襲う大津波です。山麓の村を襲う大噴火です。
Ginsego's a disaster, no different from
許
the
される
tsunami
は
that
ずが
wipes
ない。
out a fishing village, or the volcano that buries a town. It would be foolish to expect survivors. The commissioner doesn't immediately reply to my candid statement of the facts. I take the opportunity to look around the office. On the east wall of the medium-sized room is a painting of mulberries in blossom, sort of scene common in works of art with nothing to distinguish it in theme or technique. Yet if I were asked my personal opinion of it, I would rate it favorably. It's not the work of a famous artist or a professional at all. It was painted, in fact, by the commissioner himself, and looking at it, one feels strangely at peace, perhaps an effect of its perfectly ordinary nature, or perhaps it's just me. I confess to a certain bias. In any case, the painting is the only thing in the room that can be called decorative. The rest of the space is dominated by plain furniture and stacks of documents. A bit Spartan, perhaps, for the man of the office of the man responsible, on paper at least, for the safety of Kamakura's people. If I were in a sardonic mood, I would even call it pitiful. Or perhaps realistic is the most appropriate description. A realistic office for a realistic police commissioner. He seems to be finished thinking. His eyes are directed at me once more.
卵の孵化は阻止したのだな。
You stop the eggs from hatching?
はい。奥原大官長坂右京とその傭兵風魔小太郎が規制隊であることを確認。両名を殺害しました。
The Rokuhara prefect Nagasaka Ukyo and his mercenary Fuma Kotaro were infected. I murdered them both after confirming their status as hosts.
現状で何よりも寛容なのはそこだ。あんなものに増えられてはたまらん。
That's all that matters at this stage. We can't have more of those things on the loose.
ご苦労だったな。
Good work.
いいえ。苦しんだのは決して自分ではありませんから。
Most certainly not good.
銀星号について情報は得られたか？
Did you learn anything about Ginsego?
長坂右京からは何も。風魔小太郎の方はあれと会話程度の接触はした様子ですが、所在などの有意義な情報はやはり得られませんでした。
Fuma Kotaro seemed to have spoken with her, but as usual I learned nothing of her whereabouts.
そうか。あれはどこかに何者かが保護していると見るべきなのだが。
There has to be someone harboring her.
そう考えなくては
That is what
理
logic
屈
would
に合い
dictate.
ません。失踪者扱いで全国に捜索を手配しているにもかかわらず、まるで引っかからないのだからな。警察力の不足もあるだろうが。
There hasn't been a single sighting after all. Despite my reporting her as missing to every precinct in Yamato, the lack of police coverage is part of it, but...
もう2年にもなる。支援者がいると考えるべきだ。
It's been 2 years now. She's gotta have some outside support.
全くに。しかし、目的が皆目わかりません。誰もを害する殺戮者に、誰がどうして手を貸すのか。
I can't fathom the goal of this hidden benefactor who would grant aid to an indiscriminate killer.
ああ、筋道が通らんな。
It makes no sense, but...
そして世の中、筋道の通らん話が割合横行するから困る。
is full of things that make no sense.
であれば、論理的推察のみによって真実へ近づくのは難しいということになります。
Logical deduction alone.
その通りだ。安楽椅子の探偵を気取っていてもどうにもならん。
Yes, indeed, we won't get anywhere playing armchair detective.
決定的な情報がいる。
We need a solid lead.
すまないがよろしく頼むぞ。
I know it'll be hard, but I'm counting on you, Kagayaki.
承知しています。ところで、それとは別件で一つ気
Understood.
に
By
な
the
る
way,
事柄が。
there's an unrelated matter I wish to discuss.
なんだ？
What is it?
風魔小太郎に剣を提供した男です。名は反町一蔵。六原親問いの乃木山組に属し、かつ GHQ の御用聞きでもある。
The man who procured Fuma Kotaro's Tsurugi, he's affiliated with both Rokuhara and GHQ.
ああ。
Yes, you mentioned him.
自分が聞かされた話をすべて鵜呑みにするならという前提ですが、風魔は GHQ に奪われた剣を反町の手配りで取り戻している。なぜそのような真似が許されたの
If
か。
everything I heard is to be believed, a hasty assumption perhaps, then Thorimachi facilitated the return of Fuma's Tsurugi after it was confiscated by GHQ. Why this was allowed, I wonder.
GHQ の剣狩り政策の成果は当然厳重に封印されているはず。
Seems obvious to assume
でなけれ
GHQ
ば
is...
手間暇を費やして剣を借り集めた意味がありません。
Seems obvious to assume GHQ is keeping tight control of the Tsurugi they've confiscated, otherwise there was no reason to hunt them down in the first place.
先日の教師、鈴川良部か。彼も出所不明の剣を持っていたのだったな。
Didn't that teacher, Suzukawa Ryobu, also get his Tsurugi from an unknown source?
はい。関連性が疑われます。
This case may well be related.
お前はどう考えている？
What are your thoughts?
妥当な推論をするなら、GHQ の大和への無関心が進駐軍の好機を緩ませ、物資の横流しを安易に行わせている。というあたりでしょう。
Ah, that's a good hypothesis. The simplest hypothesis would be that GHQ's indifference towards Yamato has allowed for corruption to run rampant through its ranks, thus giving rise to illegal sales of military equipment, including Tsurugi. That would make sense, and would be pretty straightforward, but we don't actually... Well, actually we do have knowledge of corruption. In fact, the only thing we know is that GHQ is super corrupt, because the only time GHQ has actually had any relevance is when they're being bribed to act. Or to not act in the case of the entire second chapter. So, yes, corruption seems to be running rampant among the GHQ, although it might just be something that let happen because it's to their benefit. Who knows? How do you rate that hypothesis? Untenable. It seems more directed than...
なぜ GHQ はヤマトに無関心ですか
Is GHQ indifferent towards Yamato?
いなや。そういうことだな。この件についてはすでに推測を持っている。
Yeah, they're not indifferent. They have an
明日
opinion.
話そ
They're
う。
just not acting.
どうせ話題になる。こんな話は幾度も口にしたくない。
I already have a theory regarding this matter. However, it's probably best to address it tomorrow. I would prefer not to repeat such a sensitive topic too often.
オス。
Tomorrow?
今日は私の役宅で休んでおけ。拘置所には戻らなくていい。明日、仕事が済んだ後で付き合ってほしいところがある。
You rest at my residence tonight, instead of in your cell. Tomorrow after work, I'd like you to accompany me.
どちらへ
Where to?
八幡宮だ。親王殿下がお前に会いたがっておられる。
Hachiman Shrine. His Highness the Prince wishes to meet you in person. GHQ equals what? GHQ is the agency that's like in control of the country. That's basically like the hand of Britain or whatever. The general headquarters or whatever.
それはまた。
Whatever for.
お前が思っている以上に、殿下はお前のことを気にかけておられるよ。殿下は国民を多く害する銀星号事件を我が身のこととして考えておいでだ。
You're more often in His Highness's thoughts than you realize. He mourns each and every one of Kinsego's victims as if they were his own flesh and blood.
お前にかける期待も大きい。
His Highness wished for some time
一
to
度
speak.
親しく言葉を交わしたいと、実は前々から仰せであった。
His Highness long wished to speak to the man upon whom his hopes rest.
しかし、血の汚れに濡れた身を皇族の御前には。
For a murderer such as myself to approach an imperial prince.
そんなつまらんことにこだわられる殿下ではない。
His Highness is not given to such trivial
つま
concerns.
らぬこととは思われません。社食を司る者は、不浄を遠ざけるべき。
I do not think it trivial. One entrusted by the gods with governance of the people must not be exposed to such impurities. He believes that the prince/emperor is actually divine. Alright. Alright then, buddy.
まあ、そう言うな。
Don't be so
要は
stubborn,
実際的
Kageyaki.
な方なのだよ、殿下は。事件の実情を知るために現場の者の声を聞きたいと望んでおられる。となればお前しかいない。
Highness is a practical man. He wishes merely to hear the truth of the situation from one who's experienced it firsthand, and that means you.
それだけだ。だから別に愛想を振りまく必要もない。事件について殿下のご下問にお答えすれば済む。
That's all. You won't have to participate in any ceremonies or rituals. Just answer his questions as best you can.
小一時間ほどの
I suppose
辛
we'll
抱
do our
だ。
best.
我慢して付き合え。
It won't take an hour. Just grin and bear it.
わかりました。
Very well. I'm still uncomfortable with the prospect, but I have no choice. The Prince of Hachiman Shrine is known among the people as the odd duck of the imperial family, and this request would seem to lend such credence to those rumors. Too much, perhaps. What sort of noble willingly meets with a man awaiting trial for murder? I'll just have to hope his questions aren't too specific. I take a mouthful of tea to calm myself. The liquid, now lukewarm, tastes very bitter indeed. I leave by the employee entrance fronting the main street. The commissioner sees me off. While I'm grateful for the courtesy, I can't help but worry that the passers-by might think of the police commissioner treating a prisoner as a guest. My fears are unfounded, of course. I've already changed out of my prison garb.
何事もなければ、明日は日暮れ前に役宅へ戻る。それまではくつろいでいろ。
Assuming nothing changes, I'll return home before tomorrow evening. Rest until then.
はい。書斎を使っても構いませんか？
May I make use of the study?
好きにしろ。ああ、そういえば、ドイツの優生学についてまとめた研究書が入ってい
If
る。
you'd like, of course. Oh, that reminds me. I acquired a study on eugenics research in the German Empire.
それは関心があります。今夜にでも読んでおきましょう。
Sounds interesting. Perhaps I'll read it tonight. Until tomorrow, then.
なあ。ん？
Take care. Something over my shoulder catches the commissioner's attention, and I turn to look. A girl is standing with her back against the concrete wall of the station, watching us from afar. At first glance, her expression is unremarkable, even disinterested, but looking closer, I see an indomitable will gleaming in her eyes. Yes, that fiery gaze is unmistakably hers. With her features burned indelibly into my memory, it's no trial at all to remember her name. An acquaintance?
Yes,
what brings you here? Miss Ichijo Ayane?
逆だよ。
You got it backwards. My apologies. You think that Chachamaru is going to be inspired by the real life Chachamaru Ashikaga, which means she's going to be super power hungry and ambitious? But apparently a fucking delinquent. Alright. Cool. My apologies. And now we're meeting someone else. Some mystery man. This must be the... Is this the 5th prince or something? Or the 5th prince's bodyguard? I'm honestly not quite sure. I think we're gonna have to find that one out next time.